Alrighty, guys. How we doing? Melbourne versus Carlton today. I think it's actually a big chance for Carlton to actually get on the winners list, but they have to start kicking straight, and I don't know if they can. We'll have to see tonight. Obviously, with the loss of Clayton Oliver, it's a big chance for Carlton. But the game begins on Friday night. Ball is in readiness. Ball goes down, and round 12 has begun. First of the bye rounds as well. Sparrow gets it forward here for Melbourne. Trickles towards 50. Great pick up there from Pickett. Goes out wide. Walsh almost cuts it off. Great pressure there from Hunter from behind. Walsh tracks it forward. Does nicely. Looks for De Koning. His head goes back. Finds Young. And he drives it towards the centre wing on the outer side to a one-on-one. Mackay competes well, but it looks like a free kick will be going to Stephen May. No, it's actually Tomlinson. Sorry, Tomlinson's on Harry Mackay, it seems, tonight. Came in this week. Gives off a handball. They work it forward through Chandler. Nice kick. So Chandler on the about 70 out from goal. Drives it inside the forward 50 with a low kick. It's a great option. Don't know if he was looking for Fridge, but it got to him in the end. And it could be a great start here for Melbourne. Somehow Bailey Fritsch gets away from Brody Kemp. It's a big job for Brody Kemp tonight. And he just didn't have any body on Fritsch. Easy lead up. Wasn't the best kick from Chandler, but he read it well there, Fritsch. Usually a really good set shot. 14 goals for from set shots this year. Chance here for Bailey Fritsch to kick Melbourne's first of the night. Bailey Fritsch comes in. Hooks it to the right. He's actually missed. Not the easiest shot at goal, but still should have kicked it. Goes through for a point. And the first score of Friday night goes to the D's. So Carlton, it'll be interesting to see how they play this tonight. Against Sydney last week, they had some opportunities, but they couldn't kick straight. So McGovern takes the kicking duties, goes out wide, and he finds Young, who has been probably one of their shining lights this year for Carlton. Him and Jacob Wiedering have been up there as their best. Goes long towards the MCC wing. Tackle players go up goes Cripps, can't bring it down. Spoiled from behind there was gone. Up goes Viney, can't bring it with him, and now Carlton work it through. Doherty gives it to Akers who fumbles. And great tackle there from Cripps on... Looks like Rivers, and it'll be out of bounds. Obviously, midweek, Cripps came out and wanted to stand for his club and, stand against the false journalism of Caroline Wilson. It'll be interesting to see how he comes out tonight and how he plays. Free kick will be for Sam Walsh here. He gives a little bit of a chat to Jack Viney, but he'll get the free kick on the wing. Looks like they'll get Clayton Oliver back next week in the Queen's Birthday Clash. But for tonight, looks like Jack Viney may have to step up. Good kick from Walsh, finds Sadu, who's not 15. He goes in short, he finds Chera. So they haven't moved much forward here, Carlton. This has been their issue all year. Their movement has been slow. He works inside towards the forward 50. Mackay can't get up. Comes off hands of De Koning. Coming through is Salem. Good tackle from behind there from Owies. And another ball up. Locked inside the forward 50 here for Carlton. This is what Carlton need to do tonight. They need to lock it inside their forward 50. A dangerous tackle against Jack Viney. That was a shocking decision. Nonetheless, out of the tap comes through Walsh. He's looking good early. Tackled by two Ds. Would be another ball up. Just outside the forward 50. Top of it. It's probably a centre-half position. True on the ground. De Koning knocks it forward. Playing sole ruck tonight. Sparrow coming through. Gets out the handball through to Hunter. And now Melbourne can work it on the outer side. Salem kicks it out wide. Van Rooyen. Good mark in the end. Had Young trailing in. Just couldn't get there. Gives it off to Salem with a kick down the wing, but McGovern fumbles it there. Should have marked it. Little dance step there from Pickett. Did nicely. Over the top to Fritsch. Now Fritsch handballs forward to Neil Bullen. They're working forward now, Melbourne. Fritsch looks inside with a great kick to Petrarca. Great work there from Melbourne. Fritsch could have gone all the way from home. He's probably about 50 out, but he looked inboard and he found his star player in Christian Petrarca. Probably one of the few things in his game that he could work on. Christian Petrarca is his set shot goal kicking. He had Joel Smith actually working towards the goal square there, Bailey Fritsch, but decided to cut it in short and find Christian Petrarca. He's kicked 10 goals this year, Christian Petrarca. Wouldn't mind an 11th, nearly a goal a game for him this year. Comes in, kicks towards goal, Petrarca. Looks pretty good. He's got the distance, you bet it does. First goal of Friday night goes to Petrarca, and Melbourne take the 7-point lead. It was a great kick from Petrarca. Had to kick it outside 50. Wasn't too much of an angle, but We've seen a lot of players this year miss these sort of shots on goal, and he's done nicely to flush that one there from outside. From outside the arc. Good finish. Just quick mention on the subs. Paddy Dow is the sub for Carlton. James Harms is the sub for Melbourne. So Paddy Dow has been sitting in the VFL for the majority of, well, for every single game this year, but has been absolutely starring. Everyone's still a bit surprised that Paddy Dow got told to stay. Back in the ruck. Gawn thumps it forward. Coming through there was Sparrow. Does nicely to pick it up. Gets worried out of it though to Koning. Gets the ball to boot. Does nicely. Motlop picks it up. Kicks it towards inside the forward 50. Bounces. Well done there for May to spoil it away. It only goes as far as Akers. Gives it off to Owies. Owies trying to go over the top for Mackay, but he gets pushed off of it. Now Tomlinson came in this week. Looks calm there. The kick down the wing's not good though. Curnow cuts it off. So about 60 out from goal. Charlie Curnow. A bit poor last week. Had a very good year. Comes around on the right boot. Kicks it in low, but it's a poor option. Cut off there by McVee. So it goes in short into the goal square. Defensive goal square. And they look like they're going to switch the play in Melbourne. Finds Langdon at half back. Here you go, Melbourne. Good movement here. Finds Petrarca once again. He's looked good early. Gives it out to Rivers. Shakes off Cottrell and kicks it down the wing to a one-on-one. Doesn't get the distance on it, though. Cut off there by Gene Cotter, who's coming back into the team this week after a good game in the VFL. Goes out wide, finds Kemp. Had Sard on the run, decided not to give it. So it looks like Kemp's going to go long down towards the forward 50. His hope is Cripps. He couldn't get his hands up. Gets sport at the back to Lever. Now Salem. He's got through a little bit easy early in this match. Kicks it down towards the wing. Great mark on the wing. Wasn't paid there to Smith. So it'll be a ball up. Just looking a little bit too easy for Melbourne early in this one. So right on the wing. Back in the ruck. Gawn knocks it down. Coming through was Viney. Got tackled well there from Cripps, but gets it out of there somehow. Gives it out to Gawn, who just thumps it towards forward. 50. Great mark from Kemp on Fritsch. It's looked okay so far, Brody Kemp. He's probably one of the few young guns they've brought in who's actually performed quite well. Goes in short, he finds Silvani. So Silvani on centre wing on the MCC side. Looks across the ground. That's actually a good option. He has Akers in an acre of space, if you don't mind. Wheels around on the right boot. Drives it inside the forward 50. Mollop's on his own in the pocket and marked. Oh, he dropped the mark. Play onto the call. Tries to pick it up, then can't really dispose of it cleanly, and it rolls out of bounds. Probably should have marked that one then, Motlop. So back in the ruck. Still in the middle here, Carlton. Still in their forward line. Gawn knocks it down. Cripps comes through. Trips over, though. Viney runs after the football. Does nicely. Brayshaw can't pick it up. Well done there from Sparrow to put his head over it and gets balled up once again. A lot of stoppages early in this one. Gawn into Koning in the ruck. Good tap there from Koning. Straight to Kennedy, who gets it smothered off the boot. Lands out to Akers, though. Drills it towards the top of the goal square. Great mark from Mackay in the pocket. Big chance here for Harry Mackay. Had a shocker last week. He's had a shocker over a month, really. He needs to start kicking these goals. He's in the right forward pocket, so really good for a left footer. Obviously getting a lot of advice from the boundary line. A lot of big talk about him this week. Big chance here to get his first. Snaps around the body. He's got it! Harry Mackay gets to the goal and Carlton get there first. Wasn't flushed off the boot, I'll give it that. But he's kicked the goal. That's all he needs. And the fans go up as one. So a great goal there from Harry Mackay. Didn't really flush it off the boot, I'm not going to say that. But he got it through the big sticks and that's all he needs at the moment. Maybe a first goal or the first kick of the game may give him a little bit of confidence. Good to see the Carlton players get around him after that goal. Needs a lot of confidence builder. So back in the ruck, Chera comes through, fumbles it though, gets it out, Sparrow handles it at the back, Brayshaw drives it forward, coming through again is Brody Kemp. That's, I think, his third intercept mark of the game so far. His kick's a bit wonky, just made it to it there, Kennedy. And now Carlton go, this is good football, gives it to Walsh. Gives it the 1-2 and gets it back. Walsh still working on the wing, has an option in short, good play. Finds Cottrell, who was good last week. Goes with a nice handball to O'Brien, and now Walsh has the football, has an option in the pocket to Kerno, just goes over his head, and it roll out of bounds. It's just outside the wing here for Melbourne. Can I put the actual game on? No, I can't, man. I'll get my channel taken down. Carlton coming through. Kennedy gets out the handball nicely to Koning. Can't get there. Rolls out of bounds once again. Carlton started okay here. She's outside 50th for Carlton. Grundy's in the ruck. Gets a little tap down. Langdon comes through, does nicely. Sparrow breaks the tackle. That was strong. Gets the kick towards the middle of the ground. Fritsch in a one-on-one. Did well in the end, but then Young out the back gets the football. Handballs it forward. That was nice. Out to Walsh. So Carlton just working it back a little bit here to Boyd. Now Boyd goes across the ground. Great mark there from Mackay. He's looked okay early. Was around on the left boot and kicks it inside the forward 50. One-on-one to Charlie Kerno at the back. Can't take the mark though. May gets it out the back. Kicks it across his body. Got a bit lucky that landed in Petrarca's hands. He does nicely get the hands free. Handballs it towards Hunter. And now gets tackled well from two Blues. They're good pressure early and that's holding the ball. Great play from Carlton. Akers gets the free kick for holding the ball. And a big chance here for Carlton to get 2 early goals. That was a really good tackle. Just pinned one arm so he couldn't get the handball away there, Jack Bowie, and then that was holding the ball. So Akers, not a real known goal kicker. He kicked some good goals in his career though. This is a tough angle here for a right footer. He comes in, Blake Akers, he's hooked it towards the left-hand side. It's still in play, but there's only Demons players there and it's thumped through for a behind. So Stephen May will take the kick in here for Melbourne. Runs out and kicks it out towards the wing. It's a dangerous option. Great cut-off there from Akers. He read that well. Mackay, it does nicely to break the tackle. Now to Walsh. Big chance here for Melbourne and Carlton to get their second. And he kicks it straight to Jake Lever in the goal square. Just need to give it a bit of airtime there, Sam Walsh. He's actually had a lot of space to kick that goal, but he just didn't get any airtime in the kick. So now Lever goes back out to the outer wing to a 2-on-2. Smith went up. Probably should have marked it in the end. Hunter gets at the handball to Tomlinson. Handballs to Petrarca, who kept it in but then left it behind. And it eventually rolls out of bounds. So Carlton have actually started pretty well in this one. Umpire throws it in once again. Grundy and Silvani. Grundy got the tap down out to Salem, who started okay. Kicks it down towards the wing. Pickett gets a shocking bounce. Gets out the back. Boyd gets away the handball just in time, but it's not a good one. Well done there from Smith to worry him out of it. Can he get onto the football? He does, but a great tackle from Doherty. Brings him down inside the centre square. Umpire waits for a moment, but eventually balls it up. Still 10 minutes to go in this first quarter. Bit of a different looking forward line tonight. No McDonald, no Brown. They've got Smith and Van Rooyen up forward, Melbourne. So out of the ruck, they get the clearance here, Melbourne, but only as far as Young, who gets out to Chin Cotter. Gets pushed off that kick, but he still gets it directed nicely. Kennedy kicks it down the wing. Couldn't get to his hands to it there, Mackay. And it gets out the back, rolls out of bounds. So Mackay looks a little bit more confident tonight than he did last week. Back in the ruck again. Silvani's going to be taking the second ruck well tonight. Grundy knocks it down, coming through his Cripps. Did well to get the hands free. Akers eventually gathers it. Then back to Cripps. Good job. Out to Walsh. He's trying to give it back to Cripps, and it's a good tackle. Should be pinned, and he is. Well done there from Chandler. Well done there from Melbourne. So Chandler's got it at the wing. Kicks it in. Shot Hunter. Just stays inbounds. Boundary umpire was right there for that one. So has the ball on the wing here, Lockie Hunter. Drives it long towards forward 50. Huge pack of players, but Grundy takes the mark in front. Great mark from Brody Grundy. Silvani just not big enough to compete there. So Brody Grundy, he's outside 50 here. He won't be able to make the distance. Though he's kind of lining up for it. I can't see Brody Grundy making the distance from here. He's had a good set shot goal kicking this year, 6-goal-1. But he's the man on the mark's like 52 metres out. He's going to have to kick this a good 56 metres here, Brody Grundy. Kicks towards the top of the goal square, which was always going to happen. Up goes McGovern, nearly brought it down. Neil Bullen out the front, does nicely. Saps towards goal, and Melbourne have got their second. Great finish from Alex Neil Bullen. Roved that like a small forward and kicks Melbourne's second of the game. That was a bit too easy there from Melbourne. For the fact that Alex Neil-Bullen was able to run through that little play, that marking contest, take an easy pick up and goal with no player on him there from Carlton. That's not good to see. That's been Carlton's problem all year. They just haven't been able to defend well enough. They've been able to get it forward. They've just not been able to kick the goals as well. That was just poor. Back in the ruck run, he comes through. Does nicely. Probably get his own clearance here if he picks it up. Just can't get the bounce up. It just keeps on pushing it forward, which is a good option. O'Brien gets tackled well there from Grundy, and it'll be a ball up. Grundy thumps it forward, coming through Kennedy. Does well, gets tackled without it though. Umpire doesn't pay the free kick, which was shocking. Langdon out to Bowie, kicks it inside the forward 50. Gone! Oh, I almost marked it. Eventually got stolen there from Sard, who gets out the kick. Chera gets a push in the back, he'll get a free kick. Oh, it's a free kick way back down the field to Adam Chera. So yeah, got a push in the back from Ed Langdon, I believe. So Chera will take it at half back. So it looks like he's going to drive it long down the wing here towards the MCC members. May got up, overrun it though. Gets out the back to Lever. Now Petrarca is happy to see it out of bounds. Yeah, Grundy's just overpowering Silvani at the moment. Knocks it straight down to Langdon, who's got a lot of space to work into. He drives it inside the forward 50. Young gets two sports towards it. Couldn't bring it with him, though. Now Pickett gets tackled well there from Kennedy. And he's gone. Good decision from the umpire. Great tackle there from Kennedy. He'll take the footy at half back. Again, he's looking to switch it, but he doesn't have many options. He gives it short to McGovern. They do have a very wide option. I think it's Boyd. He does give him the option in the end. He goes out wide. It's a good kick in the end. So Carlton working it across the ground, but it's pretty slow. Doherty takes the mark. Boyd gives him another option. Seems like the only player running around at the moment. The rest of them are just guarding space. So Doherty goes towards the wing. Good run there from Kemp to give him an option. So just on the defensive side of the wing here at Carlton on the outer side. Just under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Drives it long towards a pack of players. Up goes Silvani. Almost uncontested. That was poor from Grundy. So Silvani takes it at half forward. He's got Sard the top of 50. He's got an option in short. That's where he goes to. Akers takes the mark. Now, Akers is a pretty long kick. It'd be interesting if he wants to go for this or set it up at the top of the goal square. He decides to set it up. To a Taconian and a 1-on-2. He's being held. Not played. On the ground there is Viney. Probably should be giving away a free kick, but gets out to Cottrell. Now Kennedy. They get one free player. They're open here. Doherty slaps around the body here for the Blues. And he's just missed. Just missed that one there, Doherty. Carlton worked that well. Oh, there's short Bowie. Only just got that kick there to Viney. He plays on, though. And now they go again. Bowie goes in short. Poor kick, though. Goes past Gorn. But then Young drops an easy mark, and it's another ball up. So back in the ruck again. Taconing out the back. Good tap. Coming through as Akers did brilliant. To Doherty and now Kennedy. Goes in short. Great kick. Finds Silvani. It was play on, though. Great little handball to move it fast. And now Akers kicks it inside the forward 50, but cut off well there from Petrarca. So Carlton are getting it inside their forward 50 tonight. They haven't had that many issues with that all season. But again, they're just shutting down at the final moments. Up goes Sard. Probably should give away the free kick. Play on though. Wiedering handballs it forward to Akers. One on there from both players to just hit each other fairly, and Lever's happy to see it out of bounds. Big game for Carlton. If they lose tonight, you can say finals are gone for them. And Melbourne, this is a big game for them as well. They're holding on to that top 4 position, but only just, and they've lost their last 2 games. So both teams need a win tonight. Taconing gets a little finger on that tap. Bowie taps it forward. Salem, then Petrarca does nicely. Handball out the back to Hunter, and he goes in short. Great pressure there from Sard to knock it away from him. Now they can work it forward here through Fisher. Steps in back, does nicely. And now Chera kicks it towards the top of the goal square, but it's a poor kick. 3 Demons are sitting back for that kick, and then McVie takes the mark. So again, just Carlton's entries inside the forward 50 have been poor so far. So he goes out wide and he finds Hunter. He was missed last week against the Dockers. He's going to kick inside. It's dangerous. We're on there from always to cause the spoil. But Petrarca reads it nicely on the ground. Gives it off to Brayshaw. And Brayshaw and short are gone. That won't be 15. But now Rivers has the football. Drives it inside the forward 50. If Chandler can get there, he's all on his own. Great mark there from Chandler. And inside the forward pocket, all on his own. A chance here to kick Melbourne's third. Okay. So Kate Chandler in the pocket. The snap and a goal for the D's. He hooks it too much and through for a point. So Adam Sard will take the kick in here for Carlton. So he's going to go out to the MCC wing. Has heaps of time to work into, and Sard drives it long. The Rivers does nicely out the back to get a touch on it. Now Langdon goes all the way back to Tomlinson. He's going to go even further back. He's going to be in a bit of trouble here, Lever, but does nicely. So they're going for the big switch here, the Demons. He's going to kick it right across to find Hunter. He gets it on the bounce, and now he's got heaps of space to work into on the MCG wing. Finds Brayshaw. Again, Melbourne really aren't moving it too quickly at the moment. So Brayshaw now decides to just drive it long. Pick it out the back! Oh, he just couldn't get a leap on anyone. He goes out of bounds. Pickett could have been up there for a big mark, but he had no one to jump on. He tried to get on Wiedering, but he didn't really. He just slid off him. It slid off his back, and he couldn't get enough. So it's another ball in. Back in the ruck, Van Rooyen knocks it down. Coming through was Chera, left it behind. Now coming through as well was Pickett, but he left it behind. Cripps gets it out and kicks it away there as McGovern. 1-on-1 there to Koning and Gorn. Koning did well, but eventually got out to May. Now to Hunter, and Hunter's handball was wayward. Goes out of bounds once again. So 3 minutes to go. Melbourne lead it by 1 goal. Carlton have been okay early. Mackay with the only goal for Carlton. He's hit 1 goal straight. Back in the ruck. To Koning. Does nicely to get it out of there. Then the kick out was dribbled past many players. But then it spills out now to Salem. Does nicely with the sidestep. And it kicks it inside the forward 50. 2-on-2. Back goes Kemp. Didn't get much onto it. Gets taken without it there. Pickett. Play onto the call. Van Rooyen out to Spargo. Spargo still looking for an option. Kicks it across, but Sard will cut it off. And he's off. That's good from Sard. Play onto the call. He goes out wide. The kick not so much. Now to a 1-on-1. Owies tries to tap it in front of himself, but tapped it into himself. And now Lever gets it out to Rivers. He's still turning and spinning here, Rivers. Gets it out to Lever, and well done there to get it out to Salem. Salem goes in short. Good find. He finds Fritsch. Fritsch immediately goes into the pocket, but he hooked it too much, and he goes out of bounds. Just 2.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Not a big crowd at the MCG tonight. Bit surprising. Van Rooyen in the ruck just takes it out of there with no contest. And now Langdon, from 50 metres out, drives it towards the top of the goal square. Up goes Fritsch. Can't bring it with him. Coming through is Viney. Gets tackled well. Gets out the handball though. Hunter breaks out of the tackle. Petrarca on the boot. And he's hit the point post. Point post is still shaking there for Petrarca's kick. But O'Brien will take the kick out here from the back pocket. He drives it long, one-on-one here is Silvani. Cripps can't bring it down with him either. Bowie handballs it forward to Hunter. May can't get it out of there. Well, on there from Kennedy. Just stuck the head over it, got the ball out. Gives it to Motlop. And now Cripps takes a bounce on the wing if you don't mind. Back to Motlop. Just gets away. Does nice with a good little kick there to McGovern. McGovern's got an option in short, but it was smothered easily. Oh, he's just taps it in. That was quite smart. And then Motlop knocks it forward as well. But again, no Carlton players around this one. So Brayshaw gets back, kicks it down the wing on the bounce. Hunter picks it up. Does well to break out of the tackle. Spins, or 360, has no options, so he just boots it forward. Van Rooyen picks it up off the bounce, and now they're away here through Fritsch. If he gets away, he's through. Good play there from Kemp. Still got away the football, though, Van Rooyen. They're still working it forward here, Melbourne. Now Spargo in the pocket. He has one more handball over the top. Pickett. Can he make some magic from the pocket? You bet he can! What a finish there from Keziah Pickett. Right on the stroke of quarter time. Comes out with a huge highlight. Melbourne just worked that forward. Blue collar football. And Melbourne get their third. Great finish from Pickett in the pocket. Just somehow snuck that home. And we've seen a lot of goal of the year contenders so far this year. This probably isn't one of them, but it's a very good finish. I think every single Carlton player who was chasing that ball down were just tired and they were just saying, just kick it, pick it. Just kick it. Yeah, I think Young was just tired. He couldn't put any pressure on. Because he gets a goal. Great finish on the stroke at quarter time. In the ruck, DeConey knocks it down to Cripps. Out to Chera, now Fisher. Gets tackled well. Handball's interrupted. But well done there from Chera in between two demons to get the football out. But then just throws the ball away. That was a shocking decision. Viney off to Petrarca. Does nicely, composed. Thumps it inside the forward 50. 2-on-1 here for Van Rooyen. Does nicely to punch it away there, Wiedering. Chandler works it forward. Now Pickett again. Can he get two in a minute? Keziah Pickett, no. Nearly dribbled that one home as well. Only a minute or under a minute to go in this first quarter. Carlton have been okay, but they're still down by 13 points. So now Boyd goes long towards the wing to a 2-on-1, 3-on-1 now. Langdon did well, and Curnow can't get there. Rolls out of bounds. 30 seconds to go. Lot more people on the MCG just on the first tier. The rest of the tiers look pretty sparse in a lot of sections. Back in the ruck. Gorn knocks it forward. Coming through was Chera. He's looked okay. Goes down towards the wing. It rolls towards the boundary line. It does stay in. Well done there from Curnow, but he's eventually seen it out of bounds. Back in the ruck. Gorn taps it forward, going through with Sparrow, can't bring it with him. Then Neil Bullen out the back to Chera, and now kicks it inside towards the forward 50. Great! Oh, I almost marked it there, Curnow. That was nicely to fight for it. Rivers eventually gets the handball away. Try to get over it there. Fisher couldn't bring it with him. Now Langdon gives it off to... It was Rivers, and now eventually the time runs out for the Demons. And at quarter time, they lead by 13 points. Scores are 3-3, 21 to the Demons. Lead by 13, 1-2-8 to the Carlton Blues. I'll just bring up those statistics now. Boom, 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 boom. Alright. Sorry it took so long. I kept on fucking up the screen, but anyway. Alright. So at quarter time, the best ball winners on the ground, we lead all comers is Lockie Hunter with the 10, Christian Petrarca with the 9, along with Matt Kennedy leads all comers for Carlton, and then Akers and Chera both have 8 touches, and then for the fantasy scorers out there, we have Christian Petrarca with the 41, Kennedy with the 32, along with Akers, 31 to Hunter, and Chera takes out the top 5 with the 29. Bum, 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 bum. Bob Jane T. Marts. God, I hate those Uber Eats adverts with fucking the Kardashians. Fucking hell. God, I hate that shit. Oh, Jesus Christ, ASMR. Fucking. Freddy Cripps is not had a kick yet. Fucking hell. Players getting back into position now for the second term. Second quarter's about to get underway now. Carlton need to lift a little bit. They played pretty okay in that first quarter, but Melbourne did kind of run away with it later in the quarter. Back in the middle now. Kennedy gets out the handball to Cripps, does nicely, and then kicks it inside. Kicks it a little kick in, nice little option. Finds Fisher. So now Fisher, been in and out of this team for a while now. He's had a lot of potential, but just hasn't shown it. Kicks it towards the top of the goal square. Lever gets the fist away from there. Then Hunter does nicely to get the handball out to Sparrow, who left it behind. Just thumps it forward under the legs. And now Petrarca to Bowie and Rivers. Handballs it away. Coming through was Neil Bullen. Tries to break the tackle of Saab, but he can't get away. Then it'll be another ball up. Good tackle there from Saad. Another ball up. Grundy and Dorconing. Eventually gets out to Rivers. He's been okay early, Rivers as well. Kicks it out towards the wing, coming through there nicely with Chincotta. Handballs it forward. Now she's got a free kick for his troubles there, Chincotta. So Chincotta will get the free kick on the wing. Got pushed in the back from Pickett. So he drives it long again to the top of the 50. Dorconing pushed out Grundy. That'll be a free kick every day. Just a problem with Carlton going inside the forward 50. It just seems like a long bomb for their whole season. Just trying to hope that they'll mark it in a contest. And you can't kick a winning score every week just bombing it on top of people's heads. So Melbourne eventually work it out wide onto the wing. Finds Smith and gives off the handball nicely to Langdon. He kicks it down the wing, but it was a poor option. But McGovern drops an absolute sitter. He seems to have lost a bit of confidence in his football, Mitch McGovern. Should have marked that football. Dropped an absolute soda. I don't know, it just seems a bit sloppy so far, this game of footy. Other than the goal for Pickett late in the first quarter, it's been a bit scrappy, this game. Grundy comes it down through to Sparrow, left it behind though. Eventually got back on it nicely, did well. Gets it out to Grundy. Now Melbourne can work this forward here. Gives it off to Neil Bullen. Neil Bullen in the pocket. Great find. Gorn left it behind though. Pickett and Chincotta in the pocket. Chincotta fights for it on the ground, then dragged it in. He could be in trouble. No, the umpire gives him a reprieve, be a ball up. How you doing, Captain? What are you up to tonight? So back in the ruck once again. Gorn taps it down, coming through. Langdon played for the free kick, didn't get it. Petrarca turns inside. Great kick, finds Rivers. You know what? Langdon probably got a free kick there. I had a meeting with Hawthorn. Are you going to be playing, are you? The chance here for Rivers to kick Melbourne's first of the second quarter. Tough angle, about 40 metres out. Kicks towards goal. It fades late. Cooks it through for a behind. What do you mean you had an interview with Hawthorn for what? What, like a... I don't know where you are if you're playing footy or whatever, but... Shit. I keep on touching the fucking stream overlay. I should just fucking lock it, shouldn't I? Where is it? This one. There we go. Alright. So Melbourne have it on the wing, cause for turnover, and eventually drive it long. Grundy can't bring it with him though. So now Chincotta gets the football to Akers. And then he drives it outside the defensive 50. Bow's going to cut it off. I'm on their radar. For what though? It was random. So Bowie's going to kick it inside the forward 50. Great little option. And finds Chandler on the lead. Yeah, I don't, for what though? Like for... playing. What do you play? What do you do for playing at the moment? So Chandler, he's He's missed one early. Chancey to kick his first. Comes around on the left boot, and he's kicked it exactly where he ran. Goes through for another behind for the D's. So now Carlton drive out of the defensive 50. Kennedy tries to mark it, but left it behind. And Petrarca, again, another option inside. Wiedering cuts it off. Doesn't mark it, though. Smith tries to spin out of trouble. Good tackle there from Chincotta. Locks it up for a ball up. TSL. What's TSL? Back in the ruck, Gorn tries to tap it down. Word on there from Doherty just to get the kick away, but he turns it straight over to Petrarca, who drives it towards goal, but it's marked on the line there from McGovern. So Melbourne, who's locking it inside their forward 50 really at the moment, kicks it out wide to a one-on-one, but Wiedering takes the mark. Oh, it's Has State League. Okay. I didn't know that was really... Was that watched by a lot of people? Goes long to a 2-on-1. Gets held there, Cripps. That'll be a free kick, and he'll take the free kick back. Who do you play for? So free kick will go to Cripps. He drives it towards the top of the 50. Kennedy goes up uncomposed. So he kicks it out onto the left-hand side of the 50, and Silvani should have got a free kick. And he does. Free kick to Silvani. Oh, well, you can hope for it, man. You can play for Hawthorn. The L Blues. The L Blues? Is that what you meant? Is that what it is? The Launceston Blues, I'm assuming? Is that what they are? So a chance here for Jack Silvani to kick Carlton second. They kind of need to stay close here because Melbourne have done okay in the second term. Silvani drives it towards goal. He's hooked it a bit and it's gone through for a behind. The Launceston Blues. Okay. Did you say... Oh, shit, that wrong one. So long kick, Van Rooyen takes for the mark. He's on the wing at the moment. Plays on. Kicks it towards the top of towards the 50. And Petrarca, he's been everywhere tonight. Then eventually he plays on. Kicks it into the pocket. And Fritsch is all on his own. Petrarca's been one of the few players who have looked clean tonight. And a good find there in the pocket. I'm not going to lie, this game's been pretty boring. I know I probably shouldn't say that, but it has been a fucking snooze. Other than the Pickett goal in the pocket, it's been a snooze fest. But a chance here for Bailey Fritsch to kick his second. In the pocket, hard kick for a left footer. Kicks towards goal. Hits the post. Just can't nail a shot at the moment, the Demons. They've absolutely dominated the second term. They just can't convert on the scoreboard. So Sard goes in short. He finds Doherty, who now drives it long towards the MCC wing. Wingers have been doing all night tonight. Mackay doesn't get the free kick, goes down to Boyd, who leaves it behind. Viney taps it into Cripps' hands, and he leaves it behind once again. Spargo out to Brayshaw, fired handball out to Hunter, and they get some space now, the Demons. Viney thumps it long inside the forward 50, gone! Can't bring it down. Spargo plays for the high, didn't get it. Chincotta, he's actually got it. He has got it. A free kick has gone against Sard for a high against Spargo. And a chance here for the Demons to get their fourth. KFC bangs. Oh, it's pretty good. I wouldn't lie. I don't have anything for KFC in here, though. That's a bit tough. That's a bit tough against Sard. Like, I mean, he's already on the ground, basically. Bit tough, but anyway. Charlie Spargo. Chance here to kick his first. He set up one earlier in the game. Comes in towards goal. It goes to the right. Comes back, and he kicks the goal. Finally, Melbourne get their first goal of the second term. Yeah, currently Christian Petrarca has the 14 touches, most disposals on the ground. He kicked the goal already. He's been best on ground by far so far. If I was giving the 3 votes right now, he'd get 3. And I don't know, 2-1. This game is dead. Yeah, I don't. This game's won by Melbourne, I think, already, to be honest. I don't think Carlton can play very well at the moment. The only goal they've got is from Harry Mackay, and that's the only time they've actually worked the ball forward. Ever since then, they've just been doing what they did against the Swans last week, just bomb it high and hope for the best. So back in the ruck, shocking bounce from the umpire. That'll be recalled. So the ruck is called once again. Gawn just takes it out of there. Good tackle there from Silvani. Eventually Carlton get it out to Chera, who leaves it behind. Now Brayshaw eventually breaks out the tackle and gives it to Viney. He kicks it away. Cut off well there from Carlton. Doherty immediately kicks it on the boot. Good mark from O'Brien on the wing. So O'Brien goes in short. He finds Kemp, who started this game off brilliantly. He goes in short and finds Cripps. He's just got no speed on the play here, Carlton. So eventually he plays on, goes long towards the forward 50. Up goes Silvani, can't bring it with him. Goes out the back, Bowie, just taps it to himself and is happy to see it roll out of bounds. So they're inside the forward 50 now, Carlton, but really they don't seem confident with it when they're going forward. It's not a different game plan. This is poor coaching. How have they not changed their game plan going forward over the past 5 weeks? This is shocking football. This is shocking from Carlton. Thumps it away here, Gawn. Goes towards the boundary line. Chera keeps it in. Gets at the handball. Smothered well there from Viney, and O'Brien will take it out of bounds. That may seem harsh, but fucking hell. Like they've been doing this all year, Carlton. Just bomb it up high to their tall forwards. I know they're very good tall forwards in their best days, but even they can't perform well with these entries going forward. Gawn knocks it down. Viney almost threw it away. Gets out to Walsh, and now Cripps has heaps of space to work into. Kicks it inside the forward 50 low kick. Can't get there was Harry Mackay. McVee cuts it off. Brayshaw back to McVee. Oh, too easy to get away from that. No pressure on McVee coming out of half back. Goes down the wing. What on there from Sard to cut that one off from Petrarca. He gives it off to Chera. And now they're working it forward here, Carlton. Doherty to Cripps. He almost breaks the tackle, gets at the handball eventually. Doherty inside the forward 50, finds Motlop. Jeez, they were lucky there, Carlton, because McVee just ran out of defensive 50 with absolute ease. They were lucky he didn't have an option going out. Yawn. So a chance here for Motlop. He's kicked 6 goals straight at set shots this year. Chance here to kick Carlton's first of the second term. Motlop comes in, kicks towards goal. Does it hold the line? No, it doesn't. He's hooked it. You play AFL on the PC. You any better? I haven't even played it since, to be honest. So he goes long, and Koning from the back does nicely. So now to Koning. Drives it inside the forward 50, but it's another poor kick. And a free kick will be going to Harry Mackay. He gets the free kick. That was poor from Tomlinson because Harry Mackay was nowhere near that kick. That kick from Koning was terrible. So Harry Mackay in the right forward pocket, easy, good for a left footer. He's got a chance to go around the body, which he does tend to like. Chance here from Mackay. Kicks towards goal. He's got 2. Good finish from Mackay. Carlton, just stay in touch. Evo's better in your opinion? Yeah, fair enough. I mean, he's kicked 2 from the pocket. Let's not fucking say he's bad back in form. God. All the media bags him all week, and now when the game comes along, they're like, oh, we want him to do well. Fucking hell, I love that. He's shit, he sucks, he shouldn't be in the team. Hope you do well, Harry. Fuck off. So back in the ruck again. Gorn knocks us down straight to Viney, who kicks it forward. Goes towards the forward 50. Spargo doesn't get the bounce he likes. Rolls out the back. Boyd leaves it behind. Pickett, the only one who wanted the ball in the end, gets it through to Viney. Now Neil Bullen leaves it behind. Rolls out to Boyd. He jams it on the boot towards the wing. It bounces. Rivers can't track it down. Eventually gets to it. That's a throw. No, it's not. Play on's the goal. Hunter kicks it towards the forward 50. Good kick. Finds Spargo in short. Doesn't have too many options at the moment, Spargo. Eventually just drives it towards the top of the goal square. 2-on-1. Great work there from Kemp to get on there. Take the mark. Help his teammates out. He's been good early, Brody Kemp. I'll give him that. He's taken 5 marks already in this game. He's played brilliant so far, Brody Kemp. So a long kick, and it'll be a free kick to Carlton. Play onto the call. Fisher back to Curnow. They're working forward. Curno's kick is poor. On the bounce to Kennedy. He can't do much with it. So Brayshaw now has the football. Gives it off to Rivers. Oh, the handball over the top was even worse. This game has been pretty terrible at times. So now Doherty works it on the wing to Koning. He kicks it long towards the forward 50, but the kick is poor. Bowie gets the mark, kicks it in short, kicks it into the middle of the ground, finds Neil Bullen. Richmond has to win next week. What about this week? You don't give him a chance this week? Long kick inside the forward 50, and that's turned over. Oh, Christ. Young goes in short, and he finds Cripps. 58% kicking efficiency to Melbourne, 70 to Carlton. Even the crowd is starting to fucking get angry. Cripps drives it long down to the wing. Up goes to Koning. Can't bring it down. Off the ground was gone to Brayshaw. Now Brayshaw hooks on the... That should be deliberate. That's a shit kick. Holy shit, that was bad. Oh, this week. Okay. Oh, good. They do have to win this week. What do you think of Andrew McWalter being the coach now? In the ruck, Gorn takes it out of the ruck, kicks it forward, gets in front there, Chincotta, but doesn't mark it. Pressure's on now. Pickett tries to rip it out of there, but Chincotta did well. So now they get through McGovern, now to Kennedy. Kennedy tries to shake off Petrarca, did okay, and then kicks it out wide, finds O'Brien. But O'Brien has the football, kicks it down the wing, but kicks it on the full. What else is new in this game? Not too bad. You don't mind McWalter? They could have beaten Port last week. So now Bowie on the wing. Goes long towards the forward 50. Up goes Van Rooyen. Can't bring it with him. You got to go. All good, Captain. I'll catch you next time, man. Good luck with Hawthorn. I hope you get picked up. That'd actually be cool. If you're not trying to joke with me. I don't know if you're joking with me, but if you can, that'd be cool. You can message me, ask you what you want me to call you during games. Yes. So Van Rooyen runs at the football, can't bring it with him. Now Chera gives off to Young. He left it behind, though. Then Petrarca turns into trouble. Good tackle there from Chera. He's pinned! So Chera gets the free kick here on the wing. Petrarca is not impressed by that decision. Just over 6.5 minutes to go in this quarter. Looks like they're going to switch it to Carlton. Wiedering goes across the ground. It's a terrible kick. Good mark there from Akers. Held strong, but the kick is a turnover. So now Melbourne can work it forward to Chandler. Chandler misses his kick. Oh, this game. And now Akers almost gets dragged down. Kicks it down the wing. Who gets there first? It's Lever. Over the top to Chandler. Back to Lever, but he turns it over. Doherty gets dragged down. Now coming through is Chandler. Has the football. Kicks inside the pocket. Goes over the top of Pickett and rolled out of bounds. This game has been freaking terrible. The only reason why Carlton are still in this game is because Melbourne are doing just as bad. Holy shit. This isn't pressure. This is skill. And this is terrible. Holy shit. So umpire throws it in. Van Rooyen in the ruck with Young. No one gets the tap. Van Rooyen goes up. Can't grab it cleanly. Tackled eventually there from Young and another ball up. Holy shit. I could never be a commentator because fucking hell. I'd say things like that. Thumps it forward. Petrarca gets out of there. Does nicely to Spargo in the pocket. Charlie Spargo kicks it to the top of the goal square, but Wiedering does nicely. So now Wiedering has a chance to kick it long down the wing to a one-on-one. Good kick in the end, and Kennedy takes the mark. They got to work it clean, and he gets it turned over. Great reading there from Petrarca. Eventually gets a clean handle, and he turns it back over. Fisher gets off the handball to Kennedy. Now Carlton can work it through. Cripps gets the handball forward to Owies, and Owies just has some space to work into. Nice kick, finds Curnow on the lead, and Curnow has some time to drive it long. One-on-one here, Motlop and McVee. McVee did nicely from the back. Fists it away to Lever, and now McVee gets the ball back, kicks it out wide, and Chandler's giving him some space. Good job. So now on the MCG wing, kicks it long to a 2-on-1 with Fritsch. Kenyacotta does nicely to break it apart. Now Wiedering, good shepherd to give Chera some space. Now Chera on the wing, kicks it towards the top of the 50, but that's a shocking kick. Silvani probably should have marked it in the end. It gets out the back, Carlton work it forward, Owies taps it forward, then sockers it forward. Curnow gathers it, gets almost through May. Eventually dragged it back in, I think, Curnow. And there's the ball up. So both teams have been pretty poor in the second term. It's been a very sluggish game of footy. Grundy knocks it down. Silvani can't get onto it. It's one on there from Salem. Gets out the handball to Grundy, and Grundy handballs it out wide. Terrible handball. Don't know what he's thinking. Cripps keeps it in. Now Curnow kicks it towards the top of the goal square, but no Blues are there. Ed Langdon cuts it off. So now Melbourne want to go down the wing. Find Spargo. Doesn't have too many options to go to there, Spargo. So he just feigns a handball. Eventually doesn't know what to do with it. So he kicks it in the middle of the ground. Langdon falls over. Fucking hell. Silvani leaves it behind. Coming through was to Koning. And a free kick's going to come back to Ed Langdon. Whoever purchased tickets to this game of footy should get a refund, because this has been woeful. Rivers has the football on the wing. So it looks like Melbourne are going to switch the play here. Lever has it at has it in the back 50 now. Goes across the ground and misses a simple kick to May. May eventually runs back onto it, goes down the wing. It's a Brayshaw and he misses him. Kicks it on the full. Oh, shut up, Richo. They have not pegged it back. This game's been shit. That went out on the full, didn't it? Oh, jeez. Grundy knocks it down. Brayshaw gets it to Salem. Can they move it cleanly now, Melbourne? Good handball to Petrarca, and now Spargo did nicely. Feigns the handball, then kicks it into the pocket, and all on his own is Van Rooyen. So finally, Melbourne are the cleaner team, and they find a free man inside their forward 50. Great kick there from Spargo. It's been good so far, Charlie Spargo. He kicked the goal, already had a goal assist. This would be his second goal assist of the game. Very underrated statistic in this game. So Van Rooyen. Hard kick from here. But he's usually a pretty good kick at goal. Looks like he's held the line. And finally shows some quality, the young man. Shows quality when no one else can. Kicks another one for the D's. This game is pretty simple when you use the ball properly. Jack Silvani's came off with a suspected leg injury, so he limped off the ground. We'll see if he comes back on. Maybe probably be off till half time at the very least. From the ruck, there does nicely to Koning out to Cripps, and now Kennedy has the football, drives it long inside the forward 50. Overran it there was Mackay, but gets out the back to Lever. He tries to break a tackle, just gets the handball away to Tomlinson. And now Rivers kicks it out of the defensive 50, but kicks it on the full. It's going to come back here for the Blues. McGovern won't take the kick, it'll be Doherty. So Doherty on the wing now. Forward side of the wing. Runs and kicks it inside the forward 50. Mackay gets a little bit of a run up! Can't bring it down. Matraka eventually tries to get the handball away to Salem. And now on the wing is, out of the stoppage there was Hunter, and then it rolls out of bounds. But it looks like they made their sub here, the Blues. Oh no, I haven't. That's fucking Paddy Dow. I haven't seen him in so long, I forgot what he looked like. Back in the ruck. Grundy thumps it forward, does nicely. Rivers gets the kick away on the left boot. Goes just outside the 450. Up goes Gorn! Great mark! So Gorn has the football on the wing and then just... Don't know what he was thinking. That was a shocking kick. Turned it straight back over. McGovern has the football. Drives it towards the forward 50. McCripps out the back. Can't take the mark. It's still in play. Gorn taps it back. Does nicely. And Sparrow happy to see it out of bounds. Cripps just was almost a little bit unaware about that. He should have... If he was more aware, I think he would have been gotten away there. But Gorn had a couple of important moments in the past minute. De Koning almost just took it out of the ruck. Coming through there was Walsh. Couldn't get the kick out. Another stoppage. Coming through was Viney. Probably got legged. Play on. Now Sard drives it towards inside the forward 50. Up goes Mackay and he takes it. He's looked good. He's kicked 2 tonight, 2 straight. He's kicked the only 2 goals for Carlton this whole game. He's now looking to clunk some. He takes a great mark there. He dropped a lot of easy marks last week. So a chance here for Harry Mackay to kick his third. This is a real set shot he has to take. Kicks towards goal. He's hooked it to the left-hand side and he's kicked it behind. So kick in here from May, goes in short, and he finds Salem. Looks like they're going to be happy here, Melbourne, to take this into half-time. There's still about 40 seconds to go. Salem has the football. Kicks it long towards Gorn. Great mark in front. Gets paid too. That was poor from De Koning. Had to put more body on. So Max Gorn's taking a couple of good clunks in these last few minutes. So now Max Gorn drives it long. A very high ball. Gives everyone an opportunity. Kennedy can't take the mark. Fritsch out the back would spoil. Now Carlton. Young handballs it out wide through to Hunt, but only turned over to Hunter. Left it behind, unfortunately, there, Fritsch. But works back hard to get back the football. Fisher gets a vigorous tackle there from Fritsch. And it rolls. It would be another ball up. Seconds tick once again. Looks like Silvani is okay and will be right for the second half at this stage. Back in the ruck. Taconi knocks it down to Cripps. The siren will go, and that will be half-time at the MCG. Really, Gary, it hasn't been a super match so far. That's sugarcoating it for not saying this has been one of the worst games of the year. If I wasn't streaming it, I'd turn it off because it's been fucking shit. Alright, so at half time, guys, leading disposal getter on the ground is Christian Petrarca. Probably been the best player on the ground, if I'm being honest. Paddy Cripps with the 16, Kennedy with the 15, Hunter with the 14, and Chera with the 14 as well. And then for the best fantasy scores out there, we have Christian Petrarca with the 63, Kennedy 53, Cripps 52 along with Chera, and then 50 for K. Chandler takes out the top 5. At the moment, if I'm having to give it 3 votes right now, I'd probably give 3 votes to Petrarca, 2 votes to... Or I'd probably give it to Spargo. I think he's been really good. And 1 vote probably to... Or it'd either be Chandler or Kennedy at this rate. Yeah, guys, we'll be back in the second half. G'day, guys, and welcome back to the Boundary Riders podcast. Now we're up to episode 13, just completed round 10. And a lot of upsets happened throughout this weekend. G'day guys, and welcome back to the Boundary Riders podcast. Now we're up to episode 13, just completed round 10, and a lot of upsets happened throughout this weekend. We saw Geelong get beaten down in Geelong by the Giants. We saw
the Saints choke.
The Saints choke against Hawthorn. Even the Swans beating the Blues was, I think, a bit of an upset for a lot of people. But we missed you last week, so how did you think the round went?
Yeah, I feel like, I think it was a unpredictable week, really, but it was good to see the Sir Doug Nicholls round. The entire rounds were both pretty powerful, in my opinion.
Both entertaining,
yeah, and a lot of Indigenous players played
in those rounds.
They did. And
we saw a goal of the year contender from Isaac Rankin. Keziah Pickett as well kicked the goal the week before that, and kicked one well this week against Fremantle.
Yeah.
So yeah, we always stand up in those rounds, those in the Indigenous players. But one thing that happened was the Gold Coast beat Western Bulldogs, and I know you didn't see this game. I watched this game and it was live on my stream. This was one of the worst umpiring performances I've seen in a long time. Yeah. This was a one-sided... There was 12 free kicks, I think, given to Western Bulldogs in this game before the Gold Coast got one. And one of the big things that was out of this game as well was a flop or a dive that was taken by a notorious diver in Cody Waitman.
Mm.
So this happened throughout the whole weekend. It wasn't just him. We saw Taylor Walker take one. We saw Max King take one. I think there are a few others as well. But what I wanted to... I know it's been talked about this week, but I wanted to ask you, what do you think should happen if a player is flopping? Because basically, at this stage, you can get a fine for it, but in-game, it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think a fine's just pointless. All that does is... it's great for the AFL because they get more money, but it does nothing for the game. In my opinion, a $5,000 or $1,000 fine that they receive for it, that's their money for the week. They won't care. The players won't care. The only players that would care would be probably the rookie players that would care a bit. But besides from that, it's just chunk change for them. So I think what you should be doing is giving away a free kick for it, like they do in soccer, but simulation.
They're even talking about it in the NBA now that players are starting to flop a lot. So the NBA are thinking of starting in the summer league, I believe, a foul is given. So in the NBA, it's a little bit different because obviously if you get a foul, it's one of your 5 or 6 or whatever it is now. So it is a big penalty. But in the AFL, I believe it should be a automatic. If they have a free kick, it should be an automatic reversal, like we saw with Taylor Walker. He got hit in the chest and threw himself onto the ground trying to get a 50-metre penalty. He didn't get it, though. It was a good decision.
Oh, that one, I did see that. Yeah, sorry, I did see that. I did see some of them, yeah.
That should have been an automatic reversal. And then the player who hit him, then they took a dive after it.
Yeah.
I think it was...
Gardner.
Yeah. Yeah. He took a dive. So... I don't know, was it Harris Andrews or was it Gardner?
No, it was Gardner.
Yeah.
But,
so it should have just been a reverse and then back to a reverse. Yeah. And then Cody Waitman's one. The umpire was standing right in the vicinity of it, and he went in. So basically, his opponent was standing there, and then Waitman lowered himself as he was about to lead and threw his shoulder out so he would get hit.
By Ben Long. He had his arm out, and he's just like, I'm going to go for the high tackle.
And at this stage, this game could have been decided by this decision. Luckily, it didn't, and the Gold Coast won. And if you guys saw the clip of the call from Bailey Humphrey's goal.
Yeah. I did see.
That was a great finish.
I did see the end of the game of that, and I was one of the lucky people that tipped the Gold Coast because, I know. I think you explained it, didn't you? Because I did explain it to you before, because I wasn't here last week.
I explained it in the stream now as well about how you called it, because the condition changes of the Gold Coast going from the Bulldogs going from Ballarat cold, windy to a very humid, hot, wet. It was 27 degrees throughout that game. So and I did think it showed at stages, but I think the Gold Coast were very good in that game. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But with the flopping, last thing before we move on to a little bit more, but I think, like you said, I think a free kick should be automatically awarded to the player. Against the player who flops. Yeah. Or a reversal of a decision, or vice versa. Yeah. I hate it when, and I'm not saying it's just those three players that are culprits. A lot of players do it all the time, and it shouldn't matter what player it is. It should be a decision. Yeah. Like I know a couple of Swans players, who have done it in the past, and when I see a Swans player do it, I go, "Oh, that's fucking shit! Don't do that." Yeah. I hate when any player of any team does it because it's just shit for the game. You don't want to see a player throw themselves on the ground. You don't want to be known as a player who's in his career as a flopper. No, it's not a good name to be called. You want to be known as a great player. You don't want to be known as a flopper. And I think there are a few players now who are starting to bring themselves up to be known as a flopper, and no one was to be. If you want to be known as that in your career, I don't think so.
Yeah, but there's also one more thing that I want to say about this flopping. Gold Coast are one of the most under pressure teams this season. Stuart Dew is one of the most under pressure coaches this season, and that nearly cost them that game. And it probably wouldn't have cost him his job, obviously, but.
Well, I mean, it could have been.
When you look at the end of you look 2 years down the track, maybe next year, sort of thing, and you look at people won't remember this moment of Cody Waitman getting that free kick. They'll look at the win-loss record, and that's what the board members at the Gold Coast would look at.
Yeah, they wouldn't be remembering. Oh, we lost that game because of this. We lost that game.
Yeah, you lost that game. So it just didn't look good, and I think there needs to be a different change than a fine, because players won't care. Players don't care.
Yeah,
they don't.
The amount of money they get paid, $5,000, isn't gonna hurt them too much.
No.
So maybe it should even be games suspended, but I still think it should be a penalty inside the game. It shouldn't be a penalty after the game.
Yeah, but the standard of umpiring throughout the whole week I thought was pretty bad in the holding the ball decisions, in my opinion. But
there are a couple of shockers.
There was a couple of games that I think it was the Geelong. No, I think it's the Fremantle game. Sorry, that. One player drops the ball instantly, gets tackled instantly. He gets tackled 3 seconds later, drops the ball, wasn't paid. Literally the next contest, the exact same thing, and it was paid against the other team. I thought it's the same thing, but two different standards, two different rulings.
Two different rulings because of the two. Yeah. I don't even know.
Different interpretations.
Yeah, I hate that. There shouldn't be a different interpretation based on the different umpire. Because I get that they're like two different people, but they should all be following the same rule. There shouldn't be a umpire's decision based on what their feeling is. Yeah. It should be if they've dropped the ball, or if the decision is there to be paid, you pay it.
Exactly. So,
but anyway, nonetheless, last week you weren't here, and something really big happened. I know we covered this last week, but Damien Hardwick obviously lost his job at Richmond. Yeah. Well, he left his job at Richmond. And last week, a lot of talk was about who's he going to coach next. And one big candidate is Port Adelaide. Yeah. Obviously, you being a Port supporter, I wanted to ask you if, at the moment, Port Adelaide are playing really good footy. They've won 8 in a row. They're probably up there as a contender at the moment because Melbourne have lost their last 2 games. Really, the only one who's competing at the moment is Collingwood. So Port Adelaide are in as good a form as Collingwood at the moment. If you had a decision right now, if you had to pick Damien Hardwick to coach Port Adelaide next season or Ken Hinkley, who would you choose?
I know a lot of people that know me would disagree with what I just said, but I'd say Kenny.
You'd say Ken Hinkley?
I just
Before the start of the year?
Yeah, before the start of the year, I'd say Dimmer straight away. And I'd say that probably 3 weeks in after the showdown. But I don't... Yeah, I just don't think... I think there's a lot behind the scenes of Dimmer Hardwick since the 2021 season after they lost... after they won their last premiership.
2020.
Yeah, 2020. There's been a lot of behind the scenes stuff that's happened to him, to Hardwick, and I don't think that some of that stuff has come out yet. So I think there's a lot of other things behind the scenes for him, but...
I think one thing as well is
the one thing that Ken Hinkley's always had on his side is that he's been loved by the Port Adelaide players.
The players have absolutely loved him.
And we've seen this year as well that now he's finally given the faith to younger guys. We've seen Zach Butters, who has been compared to Gary Ablett Jr. in the past few weeks, and he's played brilliantly. We saw last week as well. He probably played one of the best games of anyone this season as a solo effort. We may have actually been beaten out by a certain player this week, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But we also see Connor Rozee go through there. We don't see Ollie Wines as much going in there, being the lone guy. We're not seeing Travis Boak go through there as much anymore. And obviously the players like Robbie Gray and stuff are obviously retired now.
Yeah,
so Port Adelaide have had to go to their youth. And I mean, even Xavier Dersmer in the first few rounds of the season playing on the wing, he was playing some very good footy before he got injured. So, and also I think one big thing for Port Adelaide that they've done, that Ken Hinkley's done, is that he's picked players who can play a role.
Yeah.
Like, they've lost big players, like, basically their two key forwards in Todd Marshall and Charlie Dixon. They've found Ollie Lord, who no one would have expected to come in this season and play a role, but he has. And, Jed McEntee as well is playing really good as a small forward when he's locking out players like Orazio Fantasia, who would have a better resume, but they're not playing their role as well as they are.
And injury, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not in the team. He was dropped before he got injured. So I think that Ken Hinkley, if Port Adelaide to keep on going though, they can't just drop off. We've seen what they've done. If Ken Hinkley misses finals from here, or even I think Port should be making top 4 from here. They've got a pretty good run. And, they've got games at Adelaide Oval where they shouldn't be losing. We've seen the Crows haven't been pretty hard to beat there this year. And Port Adelaide have been hard to beat as well. So, Port are going to continue to win their games. But if they can hold to the form that they have, make finals, possibly push deep into finals, Ken Hinkley should keep his job. Yeah. But if he drops off and there is a job there for Damien Hardwick, there's a chance that he gets that job.
Yeah, it's pretty much that Port make finals. I think Port have to at least make the semis. I think for Kenny to keep his job, but it'll be interesting. But I think he said during the press conference after the game, he's like, you could win 10. Well, you can win 5, 8 at the moment, 10, 15 in a row. But it doesn't matter if they don't make finals.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
He's going to have to do some good stuff throughout the rest of the year. But I think, like you, if this was 3 weeks, if this was a month ago, Damien Hardwick, a month and a half ago, and Damien Hardwick left his job at Richmond, I'd be saying Port Adelaide should be on the phone. Now proven, I think Ken Hinkley's always been known as a pretty good coach, but he's just had those problems throughout late in finals, and obviously the big drop-off last year was not good for Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
But I think now, if he can hold this spot, he's obviously got Jason Horne-Francis as well. He picked up well in the trade period. His recruits have been playing well in the past. This year.
Not all of them, but yes,
well, this year they're playing pretty... Who?
I will get to it, I think. I think Junior Ellie's been pretty down on he's got, but...
Yeah, but I mean, he's been one. And I mean, if he comes... He's probably one.
I think Alir, from last season to this year, he's got back to the season that he had in 2021 when he was nearly...
he was All-Australian.
Yeah, he was All-Australian, so... Yeah, I think...
No, but I mean, like, this year, the recruits that they've got over the past few years, the majority of them are playing well. Like, Jeremy Finlayson, Jason Horne-Francis, a couple of others. Yeah, and even Ryan Burton, to an extent, is playing a different role. He's playing pretty well up forward.
Yeah.
But anyway, now we'll get into the votes for the week. So, this week, a couple of major upsets. Obviously, we'll go through them throughout the round. But we started off with a game, Sydney versus Carlton. This started off round 11. This was a huge game for Carlton, and both teams, but I think especially for Carlton because they had their two key forwards there. They had a chance against a team who has a diminished backline. But one person who really stood out and probably won the game for Sydney was Nick Blakey.
Yeah,
he was massive in this game.
I didn't watch all of this game, but I watched the last quarter, and my God, was that the only quarter you had to watch in that game to see who was best on ground.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that Chad Warner actually won the medal for this game.
Yeah, I think that they must have taken the vote before 3/4 time because it was seriously Nick Blakey who was the best on ground.
Yeah, he was insane, and he got my 3 votes in this one. Chad Warner did get the 2. He played brilliantly. And also Jake Lloyd, I gave the 1 vote. He played really well. And he's having a pretty good year, Jake Lloyd, as well. But Nick Blakey, I know Kane Corn said that he deserved 900 a year. I don't know about that. But now that I think a big inclusion for Sydney was Lewis Melican because it meant that Nick Blakey didn't have to play one-on-one with a Charlie Curnow or a...
I think Aaron Francis also going back. I think
he played very well in this game.
I think they found... Like, I don't know why they tried him forward, but he is a backman, Francis, and he did show also in that last quarter that it was needed with some of the... I think he had like 3 intercept marks as well as Blakey. He had 6.
But yeah, Nick Blakey was insane in this game, and he is starting now, considering the start of his career. He just couldn't... He was always recruited as a half forward to a midfielder, but because he's such a lethal left footer and he's just always on the run, he's a defender, and he's a very good one in that. So he played really well. Sydney played incredibly well in this game, I think. But Carlton just kicked themselves out of it. They kicked 6 goal 15. Harry Mackay. I know people have been mentioning, and maybe I'll even talk about this, Harry Mackay potentially going to Sydney at the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know his deal, that he's got a 7-year deal at Carlton, doesn't start until next year.
So get rid of him. Why not?
It's Sydney shouldn't... And I don't know if a lot of people think this is Swans fans, but I don't think Sydney need to go for a marquee key forward like they have with... Obviously, they've listed the Lance Franklin... Tony Lockett, Barry Hall, Warwick Capper even going back that far. But I don't think Sydney need to go for a big key forward next year if Buddy Franklin... Well, I think Buddy Franklin does retire. But I don't think that Sydney need to do that. I think that they should do what they did similar in 2012 where they got all these recruits who, like, you know... I'm not saying they should go for, like, players who can't get a game at their club, but pick players who we need. Like, for example, Sydney need a ruckman, Sydney need a key defender, and I think an extra midfielder.
Yeah.
That's my... I think that's what Sydney need. Paddy McCartan they just came out and recently said that Paddy McCartan will not play for the rest of the year, which is obviously sad to see, but I don't think he's going to come back ever. That's unfortunate to think about, but I don't see him coming back to the game at all because it's just too dangerous for a club and too dangerous on his body himself, so I really don't see him coming back. And I think Sydney need to realise now that they need to go for a key defender. We've got Tom McCartan, he's also got some concussion issues as well. He's not going to be back this week. I don't think he'll be back very quick after the bye either. It looks like Dane Rampy will be back after the bye. Sorry, that's this week. Obviously, Sydney got the bye this week. Don't worry about me. But yeah, I think that Sydney need to look for a key defender. I think they need to look for a ruckman. And I know one thing that no one's mentioned yet. Obviously, Sean Darcy's going to be out this week for Fremantle. And Luke Jackson played brilliantly against Melbourne last week when he went solo. Sydney should be calling up the phone to Fremantle, say, hey, we'll give you a first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
We will take Sean Darcy off your hands.
Yeah.
If I'm Sydney right now, I am calling up Fremantle and saying, Sean, come to the Sydney Swans, man. We will take you with open arms. That's what they need to do because Sean Darcy is a ruckman. Luke Jackson is a ruckman. They can't have 2 guys on their list that are A-grade ruckman on their list because neither of them are forwards.
Yeah, and like I know the speculation was Tom De Koning to Sydney, but I think it's shown recently that the big bustling ruckman can work. Yeah, especially with Darcy, who is.
I think also with younger midfielders.
Yeah, and I think he's shown that he can do it by himself, obviously, and that when he does do it with 2 players, it diminishes his role, in my opinion. So I think going up to Sydney, Tom Hickey's probably near the end of his career. He's got a lot of injuries at the moment. Yeah. So
Peter Adams I don't think he's taken the spot.
I don't think
he's
so.
Still a bit injured.
And like you've always said, that he's a forward ruck. He's not a ruck forward. Yeah. Or a ruckman. Yeah.
And Sydney have had problems in the past with having ruck forwards have to play full ruck because... back a couple of years ago, it was Callum Sinclair. Yeah. He did perform okay at times for Sydney, but there were times when it was like, we need a ruckman, and that's why the previous 2 years before this one, Tom Hickey was so important for the Swans, because he was a ruckman. So, no, but I think it is coming to the end for Tom Hickey. Sorry we went off a little bit of a tangent there, but yeah, I think... Alright guys, the second half is right underway. I just got back in time. Praise me later. As Achero drives it forward now for Carlton in the pack. Got on there from Mackay to take the mark. Wheels around on the left boot and kicks it inside the forward. 52 a 1-on-1. It make it all the way here from Harry Mackay. It does! What a goal from Harry Mackay! He's got all 3 goals for the Blues, and what a start to the second half for Carlton. They are checking it, though, to be seeing if it's been hit from the goalpost.
What a finish. So the kick goes long. Oh, it's actually may have hit the post. No, I don't think it did. That's a goal. That's a goal. 100% a goal. That's a goal. 100% a goal. That's a goal. What are they even? Nowhere near. 100% a goal. Good start from Carlton. Bang. Called it. Goal for Blues to start off the second half. Brilliant finish from Harry Mackay. He's got 3. Brilliant start to the second half for Carlton. And with some fast football. Probably one of the most exciting things that have happened in this game so far. So a great finish there from Harry Mackay. And a great start for the second half for Carlton. He just wheeled around on the left boot, Buddy Franklin-like, and just nailed it from 50. From 55. Great finish. And it looks like Paddy Dow is ready to come on because Jack Silvani has been subbed out for Carlton. Back in the ruck. DeConey knocks it down only as far as Viney, and then Brayshaw drives it towards the forward 50 in a 2-on-1. Held there was McGovern, play onto the call. Boyd just thumps it out of the forward 50, a good defensive 50, about 20 metres, but it goes as far as Grundy. Out to Bowie, and now long kick inside the forward 50. Melbourne are gone, can't take the mark. Sparrow has some time, strugs a high one, play onto the call. Langdon to Grundy, can't gather it. DeConey on the ground was clean. Spun out of trouble somehow, and now Chera. Carlton are working in a phone box, but they're eventually going to turn it over. Spargo to Chandler. One more player in there free here, Melbourne, to Van Rooyen. Handballs it out now to Hunter. Drives it towards the top of the 50 to goal square. Gorn can't mark. Thumped away there from McGovern. Now Grundy taken down without the football. Motlop runs away. And Carlton live another day. Great play. Sard, short kick. Great mark from Mackay. Working up the field now, Mackay. He's back in some form. Goes long down the wing. May drops the mark. Fights for it hard, though. What on there from Stephen May. Out to Tomlinson, and now Chandler has the football on the outer wing. Kicks it back inside the forward 50. 1-on-1 is gone. Can't get his arm free. Have been held. Yes, he is. Free kick to Max Gawn. Unlucky a little bit there, Young. But he was just too big there, Max Gawn. And it was a good kick from Chandler. Bit tough, but I think it was probably there. Young not arguing too much. So a chance here for Max Gawn to kick Melbourne's first goal of the second half. Hasn't kicked as many goals as he's probably liked this year. Obviously missed a few games this year with a MCL injury, I believe. But a chance here for Max Gawn to kick Melbourne's first goal of the second half. Captain Max Gawn comes in, kicks towards goal, leaves it out to the right, never looked like kicking it. And that's a behind. So a mark taken there by Motlop and then given away 50 here, Jake Lever. So 50 for Motlop. He moves all the way to the centre of the ground. Still going in the middle of the mark. Oh, there we go. He's actually got a really big 50 here, Motlop. About 80 odd metres out from goal. 2 kicks away from the goal line. Kicks it inside. It gets a bounce to Koning. He taps it forward only as far as Brayshaw, who turns and kicks away. Nice kick in the end on the bounce there to Sparrow. And now McVie running out of half back. Handballs it over the top to Fritsch. Fritsch has a few options on the wing. He goes out wide and finds Gawn. So Gawn on the wing. Looks like they're going to switch it once again to McVie. He's got Lever at a longer kick, just goes shorter, finds Tomlinson. I think that was a poor kick, but a poor option, sorry. But they eventually get it out wide. Finds Lever to May, just. So now Stephen May got a lot of space to work into, but the kick was a grubber. Lands, luckily, to Langdon, now Bowie. Bowie's got an option over the top, decides to go longer to a 1-on-1. Well done there from Wiedering, got his arm held, and he'll get a free kick for his troubles. So now Stephen May got a lot of space to work into, but the kick was a grubber. Lands, luckily, to Langdon, now Bowie. Bowie's got an option over the top, decides to go longer to a 1-on-1. Well done there from Wiedering, got his arm held, and he'll get a free kick for his troubles. So Wittering will take the ball at half-back. Carlton have definitely started off as a better team in the second half. Drives it long, though, and Melbourne players are everywhere. Lever, probably not a smart play there. May had an easy mark, but Lever just thumped it out of bounds. So Paddy Dow's getting ready to come on here. Silvani has been subbed out of this game. So Michael Voss coaching from the bench at the moment. Taccone knocks it down to Kennedy and Walsh fight over it. Then Viney, good tackle. Be another ball up from the umpire. So Paddy Dow comes on the ground to a bunch of cheers from the Carlton fans. Taccone knocks it down, coming through as Walsh did nicely. Handball over the top was not the best. Rivers just thumps it away, get it out of there, not my problem. Well done there from Melbourne to get it forward. Viney, on his right boot, kicks it inside the forward 50, and Fritsch, great mark! Going back with the flight, Bailey Fritsch takes a great mark. Don't see Jack Viney kicking on his right boot very often, but maybe he should do it more. That was a great kick. Chincotta just not really experienced enough there. It was a brilliant kick though. There's not much he could have done. Bailey Fritsch looks like he's got an extra spot of gel in that hair for the second half. Chance here to kick Melbourne out to a 20-point lead. Comes in towards goal. He's left it out to the left and uncharacteristically misses again. He's kicked 3 points in this game, Bailey Fritsch, and no goals. Left a couple of goals out there, Bailey. So Sard has a bit of a run. Kicks it long to 2-on-2 here. Up goes to Koning. Can't bring it down. Well on there from Kerno. Great fight. Got at the handball. Chera now Walsh immediately tackled. Get it back to Chera. He couldn't grab it. Good pressure from Melbourne. Another ball up. So once again, Grundy down to Langdon. He gets there eventually. Handballs it over the top. No one in particular. Gets a bad bounce, Cripps. And now Grundy just almost stole it off of him there. Petrarca knew he was better with the football to Rivers. And now they're working forward here. Viney off to Langdon. They got some space here, Melbourne. Langdon goes for home. Went in with a blaze of glory and went through for a point. Melbourne have left a couple of goals out there. So goes in short and he finds Wiedering. Gets the handball back here, Boyd. He's going to be immediately pressured and he kicks it on the full. And Boyd throws the arms up. He knew it was a poor kick and Melbourne knock it back in again. That's what they did in the second term for a bit of it, before the game went to crap. But nonetheless, got the tall man up there, here the Demons. But Bailey Fritsch will have the kick. So he's already kicked 3 behinds tonight, Bailey Fritsch, very uncharacteristically. He comes around on the left boot, sets it up to the top of the goal square. Coming through was to Koning, couldn't bring it with him. Wiedering gets tackled well from Van Ryan. It'll be another ball up. Knocks it down there, gone. Gets the kick away here. Well done there from Cottrell. Has been quiet tonight. Now to Motlop. He's had some moments. Just kicks it to space. Tries to get a little bit of a run on. The kick was a little bit too big though. Lever gives that the handball to McVee. Handball was actually to the ground, but it worked for Salem. A great tackle there from Cam. Takes him over the line. Looks like they get a little bit of fight in this one, which is I think it needs. Needs a little bit of fire in the belly for some of these players. Players being pushed around a little bit here. Carlton trying to fly the flag a little bit. Melbourne not taking it. Umpire just throws the ball back into play. To Koning, did nicely. Bodied Grundy out of it. The kick into the middle of the ground. Gets out the back to Kerno. Now Melbourne can go. Chancey for Carlton, sorry. O'Brien has an option in short. And who else but the man of the moment, Harry Mackay. He's been great tonight. He's kicked 3 goals, 1. He's kicked all the goals for Carlton. He kicked a brilliant goal just a couple early in the third quarter. Great work there from O'Brien going inside the forward 50. He could have blazed away, but that's what they got to do, Carlton. Lower their eyes. Harry Mackay comes in for goal, and his set shot kicking's been a bit off still. He misses. So Rivers goes in short. So Rivers got it in short. How you doing, Osho? Goes long to the wing. Up goes Paddy Dow. That was tough, but left the ball behind, though. Now Brayshaw just puts it on the boot. Had no one in front of him. Great cut off there from Young. Good work there from Carlton. Dow off to Chera. Now Chera on the wing has some options. He goes to top of the 50. It's a good option, but McVee did nicely. Gives it off to Tomlinson. He goes in short. He finds Langdon. Langdon's got Chandler on the wing, but he gives it back to Tomlinson. Melbourne work it short. Nice kick. Finds Van Rooyen on the wing. He's got Chandler in short here, Van Rooyen. He may have to go there. Decides to go longer. Goes towards the 50. Up goes Young. Good spoil towards the boundary line. It will trickle out of bounds. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, man. Not too much stress this week, obviously, footy. Swans aren't playing, so I'm all good. Back in the ruck. Gorn knocks it down, coming through with Sparrow. Almost broke a tackle, then dropped the ball. Should have been pinned. Play on. Doherty off the Dow. Almost slipped over, but got back to his feet. Kicks up down the wing, but should be cut off here from Rivers. Great work there from Curnow. Making a free kick for this. No, the mark was paid. Oh, I don't know about that. He barely held it, but anyway. So Rivers has the football, drives it long, back inside the forward 50. It goes wide and just goes out of bounds, spoiled away from Paddy Dow. Surprisingly, he got not surprisingly like a bad thing, but he got surprisingly cheered as he came onto the ground. Gore knocks it down through to Langdon, and Langdon kicks it to the top of the goal square. Couldn't read it well there was Smith. Van Rooyen tackles Wiedering brilliantly. Could almost be pinned, but the umpire gives him a reprieve via ball up. He makes the fewest mistakes, wins. Oh, dude, this game's been terrible. It's been a little bit better in this third quarter, but before then it was crap. Petrarca puts it on the boot, just goes up in the air. Up goes Campy, spoils it towards the goal line. Don't know about that. Then Chincotta gets on the football and kicks it away. Bowie, first one back. Gives it off to Hunter. Hunter, I think you're going the other way, bro. Goes back to Rivers, surprisingly. I don't know about that. But now Rivers breaks past Cottrell. Gives out the handball to Bowie. And Bowie goes in short to a leading Fritsch. Just completely misread it. And now Doherty back to Boyd. And Boyd just kicks it away. The kick. Well done there from Curnow. Fought nicely. Did very well. Salem does nicely, though, back to Rivers. And now Bowie goes in short, and he finds Hunter. So many bad kicks. I know. And, I mean, Melbourne are a pretty good team. I'm surprised they're making so many bad mistakes. I mean, I understand Carlton, but not Melbourne. Hunter drives it back inside the forward 50. Gorn almost marked it. But Kennedy gathers it. Handball underground to Doherty. And Doherty didn't even look. Just put it back on the boot. Make it someone else's problem. Brayshaw thumps it back inside the forward 50. Gorn got a bad bounce. Petrarca. Handball was cut off, and now McGovern off to Walsh, who gets dragged down from Bowie. Great tackle. And gives him a push just to get on with it. Well done there from Jack Bowie. Great work. Had no awareness there, Sam Walsh. Has been pretty quiet since quarter time. Chance here for Bowie to kick Melbourne's first of the second half. They've been peppering a bit of goals. He's a long way out here. But this would be a massive kick. He'll be outside 50, comes out to the right, drives it towards goal. He's hooked it a little. Will it make the distance? Yes, but it goes for behind. So now Fisher has the football in the back half. Kick down the wing. Motlop does well to keep it in. Goes for a bit of a run. Chandler chases him. Motlop just puts it on the boot. Turns it over. Now Petrarca somehow shrugs through to tackle. And now Great's taken down as Rivers. Great tackle from Harry Mackay. And he's gone. Great play from Carlton. Harry Mackay's loving it. Loving footy at the moment. Ducked into that Rivers. That was 100% holding the ball. Oh, the Mackay kick is terrible going inside. Chincotta did nicely. Then Fritsch cuts it off. Now Melbourne can get on the counter. Chandler off the Petrarca. Tackled there by Doherty. He'll get a free kick for a high one. But did well in the end, Doherty. Probably a little bit of a professional free just to stop Petrarca, but he gives it off. McVie has a chance to kick it inside the forward 50. Finds Smith right on the 50-metre arc, about 45-degree angle. Plays on. Will he go for home here, Joel Smith? Drives it towards goal. And on the line, Bailey Fritsch. In the goal square, Bailey Fritsch takes the mark. And now Jacob Wiedering and Pickett are chesting each other, which is looking very sus. Don't know about that. That's not really... Don't know about that. Thought they were going to kiss for a minute. That looked like they were going to kiss. That looked like what was going to happen. But Bailey Fritsch comes in, straight in front. No distance, of course, and he nails it. Finally nails his first. He's had a couple of opportunities today, Fritsch. But he's messed them up. But that's a good finish. Good mark in the goal square. And finally, Melbourne get their first of the second half. They looked like they were going to kiss. They were chesting up. They're like, you kiss me first. No, you kiss me. They looked like they were going to kiss. They just didn't. They just didn't have the time. I'm so devastated. The umpire told them to clear out. We never know what would have happened. So back in the ruck, Taconi knocks it down, come through with Dowded, well in the end, gives it out to Krypton, it's a great tackle from Viney, he gets it on the boot though, Salem comes through cleanly, and now they can work through here, Melbourne, gone, back to Salem, Salem breaks to about 60, he can get to 50, but then gets taken down from McGovern, just bumps him on the ground, it was illegal of course, now coming through was Pickett, shrugged it high, play on, Smith, off to Spargo, this would hurt the Blues, Charlie Spargo hits the post. So Kemp with the football in the back pocket. They would have had a lot of the ball inside their forward half at the moment. Long kick down the wing, sorry. Bowie takes the mark. He's been pretty good tonight, Jack Bowie. Is it Jake Bowie or Jack Bowie? It's Jack. It's Jake, isn't it? Yeah, it's Jake. Don't even listen to me. I'm a moron. Goes in short, finds Salem. So after Carlton's pretty good start to the quarter, they've been very quiet. They can't get it forward. And now Salem drives it long. Chincotta can't take the mark. He'll get a free kick for in the back against Max Gawn. That was courage there from Chincotta. Just stood in the hole. He knew he was going to get hit, but he took the contact, got a free kick for his troubles. Long kick out towards the wing to Cripps. Cripps drops them pretty much a sitter. And now Kennedy over to Walsh. We're working hard to get the football. The handball was a little bit wide. Cripps keeps the ball going forward, but now Salem cuts it off. Salem, good pressure there from Carlton was Cottrell. Then, he's dragged it in. He's going to be in trouble here. And he's gone. Free kick to Christian Salem on the wing. 23-point lead to Carlton at the fucking hell. I'll mess it up tonight. I was doing a lot better in the Crows game last week in the fucking Gold Coast game, but anyway. I'm only good for the good games, guys. Free kick to Salem on the wing. Oh my god. Melbourne are in front by 23 points. Long kick down the wing. Up goes McGovern. Great mark. So McGovern on the wing takes the mark. Carlton is still within touching distance, but they just need to get some more quality ball up forward. Goes in short to Dow. So now Dow drives it towards the 50. Got 3-on-2 in Carlton's favour. Kennedy goes up, can't bring it with him. Akers runs past the ball and only goes to Hunter. Hunter puts it on the boot, but McGovern should mark. Well done there from Sparrow. Caused the contest. That looked like it was going to be an easy mark for McGovern. But now Melbourne have it. Fritsch out to Hunter. He drives it down the wing. Chandler in a 2-on-1, but Wiedering easy mark. Bowie's, he's out of it. Oh, shit. Stop the play. Jake Bowie is out. Oh no, that's not good. Jake Bowie is out. I didn't even see what happened. So Jake Bowie in a one-on-one. Oh, he got kneed in the head by Jack Lever. Oh, no. Oh, no. And then he got landed on by Lever. Fuck. That's terrible. He's been really good tonight, Jake Bowie, as well. Even though I've been calling him Jack Bowie the whole night. He's been actually really good. Can we please get the motor car on? No, don't walk this guy off. He can't walk. I mean, good on him for walking off, but the guy nearly fell over. Don't jog. Oh, God. I mean, well done, Jake Bowie, for getting off the field. Like, far out. He got a square knee right to the freaking forehead, and then got landed on from Jack Lever as well. And then he walked off. He ran off. Holy shit, he's tough. Got to be tough, though, as a ranger. You got to be tough. As a ranger. As a redhead, sorry. That was probably mean. But good on him, though. He'll be subbed out, though, so James Harms will come on as the sub. Long kick from Wiedering. Kennedy jumped up a little bit too early. Lever from the back thumps it forward. And now Melbourne got some space through Fritsch. Fritsch has Sparrow on his right and a shotgun. They can work it through in Melbourne. And now Sparrow just thought he'd kick it on the full for everyone's troubles. Holy shit. He won't remember this? No way. He'll be straight off. There's no way he comes back on. Yeah, he won't remember what happened, probably. So it looks like Carlton going short. He finds Doherty. Doherty handballs it over the top. Looks like they want to get a bit of run in the game here, Carlton. But Cottrell really trips over his own feet. Goes in short, finds Cripps. Cripps back to Cottrell. They're working it forward here, Carlton, with a bit of speed. The kick towards the forward 50. Great kick. Now they can work it. Cripps got a couple of options. He goes in short. Finds Akers, who plays on in the pocket. Give Carlton some hope, Blake Akers. You betcha. Great finish from Blake Akers. They're still in hope here, Carlton. Quarter to go. They've got their fourth goal of the game. They're still within touching distance of the Demons. They finally moved the ball forward after a month of slow, lethargic football, Carlton. And they get a goal. Through a midfielder of all players. Good finish there from Blake Akers. There's 4.5 minutes to go in this third term. DeConey out the back. There's nicely to Cripps and now Chera to Dow. He's been good since he came on Paddy Dow. To McGovern and now Cripps. Doesn't really know what to do with it, so he just goes back inside to find Chera. He's got Kemp riding on the right. Decides to go back. Finds McGovern. They can work this forward here, Carlton, with the lead of Curnow. This is Carlton football that they want to see, the Carlton fans. And a chance here for Charlie Curnow to bring it back to 11 points. So a chance here for Charlie to kick his first. He's been very quiet tonight. He's played Robin 2 Batman and Harry Mackay. Kicks towards goal. It wasn't a good kick off the boot. But it goes through the middle and Carlton are back within 11 points. Great finish from Charlie Curnow. Carlton got two in a minute. Great kick going inside there for McGovern to find Curnow. DeConing in the ruck, knocks it down. Harms leaves it behind. Doherty can't get rid of it. Now DeConing gets dragged down. Should have been pinned. And he got a free kick from the back. Play on's the call. Kennedy kicks it inside the forward 50 to a 1-on-1. Gets out the back. May gets there first. Kicks it towards the wing. Hunter does nicely to keep his feet on Akers. Then Hunter just slaps it forward to Brayshaw. Off the Rivers, and now Melbourne can go. He kicks it down the wing to a 2-on-1. Up goes Pickett! Almost took mark of the year. Got slapped away from Van Rooyen. But now at the back, Neil Bullen to Van Rooyen. They can handball this through here, Melbourne. Fritsch had a player in the pot, in the goal square, but he thought he'd kick it himself. Melbourne get one back. Probably won't like that on the replay, to be honest, there, Simon Goodwin, too, because he had Kay Chandler in the goal square. But a goal's a goal. Knocks it down there to Coney. He's been okay in the ruck tonight to Walsh, and now Kennedy. Probably been Carlton's best. Gives it back to Walsh. Couldn't gather it, though. Good fight there from DeConing, but Viney did better. Now to Brayshaw, and now Petrarca goes in short. He finds Langdon. So now Melbourne going to switch the play. It's a dangerous kick, though. Cut off there from Kemp. Motlop has to get rid of it. Kicked it towards the boundary line. I think the umpire's going to pay this. It's a bit tough. So a free kick will go to Langdon on the wing. Drives it long to a pack of players, Gawn and Grundy. Neither of them could grab it on the ground. Looks like they'll just be happy to see it roll out of bounds. $17 points to the difference. Carlton have actually scored more in this quarter. They've kicked 3 goals to 2 goals. But Melbourne just keeping that good buffer in front of them. Back in the ruck. Takes it out of there. Grundy did well. Handballed it forward. Neil Bullen will get there. But Walsh will see it over the boundary line. So Jake Bow is officially been subbed out. James Harms has came into the game. Paddy Dow came in a little bit earlier in this game. He was the sub for Melbourne, for Carlton. And Jack Silvani got subbed out. So Neil Bullen drives it forward. Gawn can't get there. Gets a terrible bounce Pickett. But then he thumps it away to Danger. Eventually spills out to Chin Cotter. He kicks it away. Kicks it down towards the wing. A great mark on the line there was Ed Langdon. Well, shouldn't have been 50. Whatever. So Ed Langdon will take the football. Kicks it back inside the forward 50 here for Melbourne. Max calls for the hope. Can't get his arms up. They've taken it on 3. Play on's the call. Surely. Wasn't a mark there from Max Gordon. He almost fooled everyone in the ground. He fooled all the Carlton players. But now back in the ruck. Gawn knocks it towards Petrarca, but Cherry gets tackled. It'll be another ball up. Free kick will go to Cherry, in fact, for a high one. So a minute and a half to go in this third term. Carlton would love to just hold the 17-point deficit. But they're going to have to take a risk. He has to go long down the wing. Grundy under this one. Gets out the back, though. Now Brayshaw sockers off the ground. Very smart. Hits out to Neil Bullen. Neil Bullen weirdly runs back into trouble. Now Tomlinson gets tackled well. Motlop fights against two demons. And it'll be another ball up. Holy fuck. Oh my god, I'm doing terrible tonight. I'm sorry, guys. Harms gets out the handball to Viney, and now Viney thumps it back towards their forward 50 once again. Pickett almost took the mark against 2 Blues. Side out the back to McGovern. Off to Chin Cotter, and now Doherty. Doherty kicks it into the middle of the ground. Dangerous, but he finds the man. Curnow turns around the right boot, drives it long. Kennedy and Lever. Kennedy, who gets there first? Kennedy keeps his feet on Lever. Lever did nicely. Taps it away. Great fight there from Kennedy. Still going, Kennedy. He's been brilliant tonight and fought there to keep that ball locked in. One player would have got out. Maybe a natural forward may have been able to break away from Lever there, but he did well there, Kennedy, just to fight and scratch and get anywhere near that ball. Taconi knocks it down to Grundy, and now May kicks it away. Kicks it towards the centre of the ground. Chincotta got the fist up. Doherty tackled well there from Neil Bullen. Dragged down to be another ball up. 16 seconds to go. Just on the attacking side of the Carlton half. Can there be one more chance for Carlton to get a late one? Down towards Walsh. Couldn't gather it. Neil Bullen handles it. Really no one in particular. Spills out. And it's still 9 seconds to go. There's still a chance here for Carlton. Taconi knocks it down to Walsh. Walsh just kicks it towards the wing, gives Akers every chance. Who will get there first? It's Kemp, who tries to break away from Chandler. Eventually got out the handball, which was smart, but that siren will go. And at three-quarter time, Melbourne lead by 16 points. Scores are 7-11-52 to the Demons, 5-6-36 to Carlton. That is your three-quarter time score. And I'll bring up the statistics now. Alright, guys. So, three-quarter time, the highest disposal winner on the ground is Christian Petrarca with 24, Chera with the 22, Cripps with the 21, and 20 to Langdon and Matthew Kennedy. And for the fantasy watchers out there, we have 83 to Chera, 81 to Petrarca, 71 to Langdon and Fritsch, and then rounding out the top 5 is Harry Mackay with the 68. If I had to give the 3 votes right now, I'm probably still giving Petrarca the 3. Fuck, I'd really pick the players here. I'd probably get it. Oh, I wouldn't even give Ed Langdon the 2, to be honest. Hang on. Who would I give it to? I'd probably give the 2 to Chandler, to be honest. I think he's been brilliant tonight. And the 1... either to Rivers or Kennedy. Maybe Mackay. But I think he has to kick another goal to be a 3 voter. Belarus, Belarus. Everybody loves the country. Alright, that's it, guys. Go to the bathroom. So players moving back to position now. So it's going to be tough for Carlton to get back, but I give them a chance. Melbourne have not been at their best tonight. If Carlton can get this ball forward enough, get Harry Mackay to keep going, get Charlie Curnow into this game, they're a big chance. Last quarter is just about to start, guys. Gore knocks it down, straight back to Harms. Then to Coney, poor tackle, let him go. Harms back to Langdon, back to Harms, and now Harms works it back on the wing. Good kick. He finds Smith, who's been pretty quiet tonight. Doesn't really lock down that second forward spot for Melbourne. So he just thumps it towards the 50. Viney in a one-on-one. Good work from Chera. Kemp keeps it in, though. Well done here from Carlton. Young off to Walsh. And now Walsh kicks it down the wing, but it's a poor kick. Should be cut off well. So Smith gets another one. So it looks like Melbourne are happy to just be a little bit cautious with the ball at the moment. Rivers has the football. So Rivers drives it long. Kemp probably gets here first. Does nicely. Had a really good start to this game, Brody Kemp, and he's kept himself pretty well accountable so far. Kemp goes in short. Finds Cottrell. Was really good last week, Matt Cottrell. Been pretty quiet tonight. Drives it down the wing to a one-on-one. Well done there from Cripps on the ground to Dow. Dow has time, got pushed on the kick. Play onto the call. Spargo got a bad bounce, but kept it in front of him. And now Melbourne can go. Brayshaw to Salem, and Salem kicks it inside the forward 50 to Van Rooyen. A little bit too easy there from Melbourne. I think if Melbourne get the first goal this last quarter, it's going to make it incredibly difficult for Carlton to get back in this one. Got a terrible bounce in the middle of the ground, Spargo, but he just wanted it more than Sard. And it really showed when that ball got forward. So Van Rooyen, a chance here to kick his second. Not much of an angle to speak of. 40 metres out on goal. Van Rooyen comes in. Does it hold the line? It doesn't even make the distance. Wiedering on the line. All on his own takes the mark. Cottrell will get a free kick here. That was poor from Melbourne. But Cottrell goes in the middle of the ground with a dangerous kick. Van Rooyen cuts it off. So Van Rooyen has the football just outside 50. Wheels around on the right boot and goes long to a one-on-one. It's Smith and Cottrell. Smith can't take the mark. Langdon fumbles, then gathers it back. Good tackle from Boyd. Locks him in. Be another ball up. Poor kick from Cottrell coming out. There's a difference between making an aggressive kick and a shocking and a dangerous kick like that. Van Rooyen in the ruck, knocks it down. Walsh comes through to Chera. Chera, handle too hot for Cottrell. That should be a high free kick. That was dirty from James Harms. That looked pretty dirty if I'm being honest. Came through with no eyes for the football. Went in for the bump. May have not wanted to get him high. I don't know, but that'll be a week. So it looks like Carlton going to switch the play. Goes out wide, finds Akers. Now Akers plays on immediately. Carlton want to go. Goes long to a one-on-one. It's Curnow and May. May didn't read it. Curnow did well. He's got a couple of one-on-ones. He has to go, Charlie. Goes long to a 2-on-2 now. Young out front. Can't take the mark. Playing forward now, it seems. Lever gets at the handball. Gone. Off to Harms. Good pressure from Carlton. Walsh gives out the handball. It's a scrubby one. But Fisher fighting hard to Dow. Dow and Petrarca. Dow can't get rid of it. Petrarca tackles him well. It'll be a ball up. It's back in the ruck. Knocks it down, gone through to Petrarca. Gets it smothered by his own man. To Koning. Running forward, keeping the ball going forward. That was good. To Owies. Now Fisher plays for the high one. And he got it. He didn't drop his knees. He dropped himself. That was a terrible decision from the umpire. Fisher dropped himself to the ground. Got a high one. A little bit, Richo. He dropped way too much. So Fisher, been in and out of this team, has shown a lot of promise, but just hasn't been able to show it in games. Chance here to kick Carlton back to within 11 points. Fisher comes in, kicks towards goal. Not the prettiest goal, but it's through. Carlton get the first of the final quarter. Oh, my street's... There we go. So back to within 11 points, the Blues. Brayshaw gets very unlucky there, but the Blues get one that they needed. Back in the middle. Taconi knocks it down straight to Cripps. Out to Chera, and Chera drives it forward. Been a lot of that tonight. Kicks it long to a 2-on-1. Rivers goes back with the flight with courage and takes the mark. So now Rivers, they want to switch the play to a 1-on-1 on the wing. Good mark there from Grundy. They want to go immediately to Langdon. He's been good tonight. Goes out on the wing to Chandler. He takes the mark, stops immediately. About 70 up from goal, gives it back to Langdon. Oh, he's got run in the legs. Goes long to a pack of players. Van Rooyen goes up out the back. Can give a handball option to Fritsch. Leaves it behind. Neil Bullen can't keep it in. Rolls out of bounds. He takes it out of bounds. Langdon just keeps on running. Ben Roy knocks it down, coming through his harms. Bumped off there, Doherty. Took off against Dow, and then Petrarca kicks it straight up in the air and actually backwards. Play on's the call. Chera tries to get the kick away. Good smother there from Pickett. Gets out the back to Doherty. Drives his head. And he gets a high one. Oh, jeez. The umpire's fucking hell. So Doherty gets the free kick. Still 14.5 minutes to go in this last quarter. Heaps of time for both teams. So now Doherty drives it straight down the middle with an absolute shocking kick. Kicked it straight back to Stephen May. And he drives it back inside the forward 50. Wiedering into 1-on-1. Great mark from Wiedering against Van Rooyen. So Wiedering has the football. Kicks it long out towards the wing to a 1-on-1. It's Grundy and Cripps. Gets out the back. Curnow decides to keep it in play. Grundy just handballs it out to no one in particular. Cottrell fights hard, but it takes it out of bounds once again. I just don't know what that kick was from Doherty. That was a shocking kick from Doherty. I don't know what he was thinking. Taconi gets the tap down as far as Langdon, who dropped the football, and he's pinned. Good decision from the umpire. Cripps decides to play on, but won't be paid. So free kick will be going to Chera. He immediately goes on. He's alright. He's been alright tonight. To Doherty. Makes a better option with the kick this time. 2-on-1. Curnow may have got a free kick. Play on to Petrarca. He gets the kick away out towards the wing. It's a little bit too big for Sparrow. But he gets back onto it. And he kicks it long. Not the best option, but Fritsch. Great mark. Immediately plays on. Kicks it inside the forward 50 to Pickett. Can't take the mark. Keeps it in play. Pickett shrugs the tackle. Loses his feet. Kicks towards goal. And kicks it on the full. Bailey Fritsch took one of the marks of the year so far and immediately played on. That's the wrong option. You take the mark, you fall to ground, and you watch the replay on the big screen, Bailey. Don't play on. Terrible decision. Nonetheless, kick from Pickett's out on the full, so Wiedering goes long. Up goes Motlop. Great mark. Not known for his overhead prowess, but he did well there. In short to Chera. Probably could have been 50 against Sparrow. Play on. Gives it off to Kemp. Kemp goes in short on the wing. The kicking in this game has been atrocious. Cripps couldn't get onto that one, and it rolls to his feet. Does nicely to get out of there, Cripps, but he fumbles it towards Sparrow. Cramp dropped a simple tackle. That was poor. McVee now to Petrarca, and he thumps it back inside the forward 50. It's a one-on-one. Up goes Van Rooyen. Brings it. Play onto the call. Chincotta gets it out wide to Cottrell, and now Carlton have a little bit of space to work into. Cottrell drives it long down the wing, but Petrarca cuts it off with ease. Just can't keep on bombing it, Carlton. They've got to actually work through. Goes in short to Langdon. He's been good in this last term so far. So now Langdon thumps it back in the forward line once again. Up goes to Koning. Should have marked it in the end. Play on Van Rooyen. Good composure to find Chandler. Got the terrible bounce, Chandler. And now Walsh off to Doherty. Now Cottrell. They can work this through here, Carlton. Cottrell just handballs it away for some reason. Spargo threw that out. Petrarca gives out the handball to Rivers. Rivers to Fritsch. They got one more handball there away. Gives out to Chandler. Gets the hands free, which was smart. I'm going to sneeze. Does well in the end there, Wiedering to Motlop. Carlton can go. Great tackle from McVee. Play onto the call. Here comes Fritsch. Kicks it back inside the forward 50. It's a 3-on-1 for Grundy. The great mark from Kemp. He's taking some great marks tonight, Brody Kemp. He's up there with the best players tonight. Definitely for Carlton. Kemp takes his time. Kicks it down the MCC wing. Up goes Lever. Should have marked it in the end. Walsh gives it out to Fisher. Doesn't have a right boot. Has to give off the handball to Akers. And now Akers thumps it back towards the forward 50. It's May and Curnow. Best defender against the best forward in the comp. And Curnow takes him down. So back in the ruck. Gordon knocks it down. Coming through was Viney. Almost left it behind. Kept it in front of him, though, which was good to see. Then almost threw it away. Gets a free kick for a hold. It was there. It was a free kick to Viney. 11 minutes to go in this one. Carlton only 11 points down. Haven't really looked likely all day, but they still have a chance. Langdon kicks it back towards the wing. Kemp played for the free. Didn't get it. Fritsch takes the mark. Fritsch pulls around on the left boot. Goes with a nice little kick to Gawn, and he takes it. Great mark from Max Gawn. So Gawn decides to take the responsibility for himself, it looks like. It's a long kick here for Max Gawn. Hasn't had his best night tonight, Max. He's only had the 12 touches. Usually a pretty big disposal getter for a ruckman. Chance here to kick his first of the night. He's already kicked the point. This is a long kick, though. He's outside 50. Max Gawn. Wheels around on the right boot. Goes long. Oh, Max sends it. Oh, home. Max Gawn. What a finish. I have no doubt, Maxie. Great finish. Great finish from Max Gawn. From outside 50. Could have gone along to the goal square where Grundy had a mismatch. But he said, I'm taking the responsibility myself as captain. And he did the job. Great finish. So back in the ruck. Gawn almost took it out of there, but Young did nicely. Thumped it forward. Good mark from Mackay. Gives that the handball immediately. Carlton go quickly. Walsh kicks it inside the forward 50 to Alenia Mackay. Great work from Carlton. That's quick footy. That's good football. Oh, Mackay's going around the corner here. He's a long way out. It's a long kick for a snap around the corner. He's got not much angle to speak of. Mackay kicks towards goal. It doesn't make the distance. Bad kicking is bad football. That's bad football. He just doesn't know how to kick for goal from like 40 metres inwards. It's not a good kick. Salem goes long down towards the centre of the ground. Gawn plays for the free. He doesn't get it. Young gets the ball. Gives off the handball immediately to McGovern, and he thumps it back inside the forward 50. Well, a mark from Lever. So Lever decides to go long down the MCC wing. 1-on-2 is gone. Thump forward. They got a chance here. Owies was smart. Tapped it out to Akers. He goes in short. Great kick from Akers. And he finds Cottrell. Good kick there from Akers. He could have blazed away and gone to the top of the goal square, but he saw Cottrell in a pocket of space, and it was a really nice little kick to him. So back to within 10 points if he kicks this, Matt Cottrell. Hasn't had a big night tonight, but he can have his moment. Cottrell comes in. Kicks towards goal. He's left it out to the right-hand side, and he's missed. Well, there could have been 2 goals for Carlton, except there's 2 behinds. $14 points down. Heaps of time left. Don't have to worry about that. They're going to start kicking some goals. Lever takes the mark. Immediately takes it out to the right-hand side. Kicks it out to the wing. A bit of an absolute floater. Spargo picks it up nicely. Gives that the handball out the back to McVee. Got a bit of time to work with. McVee kicks it on the right boot. It's a shocking kick. Kemp cuts it off. He wants to play on, but he doesn't have any options. Oh, he almost tripped over, but plays on now. Drives it back towards forward 50. Mackay can't take it. Gets out the back, taken well by Lever. So Lever to Salem. Oh, shit. The score's wrong there. Good on me. So now McGovern takes the mark. Will's back inside. It's a dangerous kick, but it's a good kick. Finds Walsh. Still 7.5 minutes. Carlton have got the time. They just need to find some quality going forward and kicking at goal. They need to get Curnow into these last 7 minutes. Walsh works it out wide, trying to switch it. Goes to O'Brien. He's usually a pretty good ball user. Doesn't have any options to go to, though. Eventually just drives it towards the 50, but it's a shocking kick. Cut off easily there by Brayshaw. Just trying to take a little bit of sting out of this one, Melbourne. Brayshaw has the football at half back. Goes long. Up goes Van Rooyen. Can't take it down. Coming through nicely there was Vine. He was tough over the football. Gives it out to Langdon, who's definitely stood up in this last quarter. Drives it long to a 1-on-1. Who else but Christian Petrarca? He plays on. Goes inside. He finds Chandler. And this would just about seal it. Just unfortunate there, Chincotta. Against Christian Petrarca, one of the strongest midfielders in the comp. Chincotta's body just hasn't grown to that brute bull strength. Got pushed off easily. And a chance here for Chandler to kick Melbourne home, you would think, from here. Straight in front, 35 metres out. Kate Chandler comes in, he's hooked it a little, he's missed. Keeps Carlton in it. So Carlton haven't really moved too far forward. They're just outside the defensive 50. He plays on. Needs to kick it long. He does, Sard. It's all 1-on-1. It's Motlop and Rivers, but Rivers went for the football. Motlop went for the player. He gives it out wide to May, and he goes in short, finds Viney. 5.5 minutes to go. The switch is on here. Tomlinson. He has a couple of players on the other side. It's a good kick. Finds Brayshaw, who just takes the mark. Heart in his throat for a second there, but he took it. And he goes inside. Good kick. Finds McVee. Had a couple of moments tonight. He's been good. So they're just kicking it. They're just chipping through the Carlton defence here with relative ease. Rivers back to McVee. He thumps it inside the forward 50. It's 3-on-3. Up goes Maxi. Gone. The brute man himself. The beard. The leader of this great club. A chance here to send them home tonight. They've been in a hole the past few weeks, Melbourne. But a chance here for the captain to give his team victory. So Max Gawn comes in, straight in front, about 40 metres out. Pretty close to where Chandler kicked his last shot. Kicks towards goal, Max Gawn goes to the left, and he's hooked it as well. Still in with a chance here, Carlton. Melbourne won't put them away. $17 points to the difference. Still 3 goals. Sard goes in short. He finds McGovern. He could give it back to Sard here, but he goes long to a one-on-one. O'Brien and Langdon try to body him up there. O'Brien, but gets out the back, rolls out of bounds. Four minutes to play. 3 goals Carlton need to win this one. Viney handballs it underground. Good play. Sparrow does nicely. Breaks one tackle, then handballs. Harms on the ground. Does nicely to get out the kick eventually. The kick is poor though. Carlton calls the turnover. Down to Walsh. Walsh gives it off to Sard. Now Carlton can go. That was almost a throw against Doherty. Play on. Chera to Fisher. Got a high one. That's high. Played on immediately. Good play, Carlton. Chera off to Boyd. He's got a short option. Blake's past Petrarca with ease. And then kicks it long. At the back is Kennedy. Well done there from Rivers. Got out the back. Got to the ground. Rivers almost threw that out. Then Gawn to Brayshaw. Melbourne live nicely. De Koning doesn't want to chase. And then Sard kicks it out wide. Van Rooyen gets the football on the bounce. Doesn't have too much options. So he just goes back. Finds Brayshaw on the mark. Great footy there from Van Rooyen. That was poor from De Koning. That was poor. Had a chance to chase and he just couldn't. So now Neil Bullen. The time runs under 3 minutes. Neil Bullen goes long to a pack of players. Gawn's one, but De Koning's another. Good mark from De Koning. He's got to go. He's got to go. Eventually he does. He goes out wide, finds Lockie O'Brien. They've still got 3 minutes. They've got to go. Give him something. Jesus. Even the Carlton fans are fucking annoyed. And I'm not even a Carlton fan. Goes down the wing. Good mark there from Young. Gives it off to Dow. They're on here, Carlton. Dow goes long to a one-on-one. It's Mackay. Needs to go back here, Harry Mackay, and kick for goal. He may have options, but he's the big guy. He's the man. He needs to kick this. 2 minutes to go. It's a hard kick here for a left footer. Mackay comes in. Kicks towards goal. Harry Mackay's hooked it. It's in the goal. Oh, I nearly marked that one in Acres. But it was touched. It's 2 minutes to go. If Carlton can get one from the stoppage, they're a chance. Mackay's kick was pretty average. You should have done better there. So back in the ruck. Forward pocket here for Carlton. Curnow comes through. Can't bring it with him. Petrarca kicks it away. It's outside of defensive 50. Chera couldn't win it. Now Chincotta can't win it. Kemp, in fact, can't win it. Akers off to Fisher. Did nicely to Akers. Gets tackled well from Sparrow. That should be holding the ball. And it is. Great work from Sparrow. Melbourne will win tonight. Great win for Melbourne. It's been a gritty one. They've lost their previous 2. But they've hard fought one tonight. And they should get back their best player, arguably, in the comp at the moment, in Clayton Oliver next week. Goes long to the wing. Up goes Van Rooyen. He's been good tonight. Just over a minute to go. So he now drives it long towards the forward 50. Gawn in a one-on-one. Great mark. Maxi Gawn. He's been brilliant in this last quarter. Didn't have a brilliant night, but he's had a good last quarter here for the D's. As Grundy and shoot. That's a dangerous kick. Know about that. And Sard rolls out of bounds. Good effort from Sard. 52 seconds to go. Throws it back into play. De Koning almost got to push him to back. Play on. Fisher gets to the football. He's been okay at times. Goes down the wing. Good kick. Finds Mackay. Mackay plays on immediately. Drives it long towards the forward 50. Up goes Kerner, can't bring it with him. Lever on the ground. Did well to Salem. Over the back now to Brayshaw. He eventually gets there. Gives it to Rivers. Rivers over the top. Don't know about that option, but eventually rolls out of bounds. Gordon gets a little tap out the back. Neil Bullen gets tackled well there from Doherty. Carlton, this is another disappointing game for them. They've arguably been a little bit better than last week, but it's another loss against a team where they want to be competing for finals. Carlton, they need to win these sort of games, and they just can't link up at the final change. They just can't find that final moment going forward. But tonight's about Melbourne. A great win for the Demons. 2 losses on the trot. They come home with a massive win tonight. The final scores 8-13, 61 to the D's. 1 against Carlton by 17 points. 6-8, 44. Alright guys, thanks for watching the stream today. There'll probably be one either tomorrow or Sunday. So thanks for watching this one. That's all from me.